The club was amazing. Tristan had the best table in the whole. I don't know. Y'all think he's cap? He's not cap at all.
I think it was us three guys, Jay Waller, and what 25, 30 women.
Yeah,
at least.
And
Any of them unattractive?
No, dude. He was like, okay, some are on the way. Okay, cool, they're here. More on the way. I'm like, how more are coming?
We had to physically remove one of the tables from our area so that we had the space for the women. But it's just another Friday night. I just wanted you guys to see it. It's good, and it means a lot to me that you guys are here. You're in Romania. You see the fucking cars, the house, the crib, the money, the girls, the clubs. Because there's a lot of people who talk shit about us and say that we're not legit, and we're filming this from some rented podcast studio somewhere. Like
people say that.
Oh yeah, no. Where you rented the podcast studio, you put up the fucking sign, or like the people are actually insane. So the fact that you guys are here and you guys are so legit yourself, and you're adding credibility to everything I say. It's I'm glad you guys are in Romania, bro. Stay as long as you like.
And thank you for letting us stay, bro. We really appreciate that. So Tristan, we know who you are. You're a good friend of ours. We've known you for a few years now at this point. And watching you guys' meteoric rise has been literally, you don't even understand how happy we are for you.
You inspire us, bro.
Yeah. So can you introduce yourself to the people, for those that have been living under a rock for the past, 6, 7, 8 months now?
Yeah. For those of you who don't know, my name is Tristan Tate. I am the I think smarter and better looking half of the Tate brothers. Maybe slightly less famous though. Maybe slightly less famous, but I've still got Instagram. Yeah, I'm a multimillionaire, self-made man. I come from very, very humble beginnings, homelessness, poverty. I come from a very poor town in England where I grew up. I have a net worth approaching. It will be 9 figures within the next couple of years. It's certainly 8 figures.
Down to Marco for that one.
Yeah, I'm doing very well for myself. I have appetites for fast cars, beautiful women, tailored suits. I just like enjoy the finer things in life, and I try and live as well as I can. And I try to live this stereotypical, I guess, male archetype of
toxically masculine.
Exactly. Toxic masculinity. Toxic masculinity. That was the word I was looking for. Correct. Thank you very much.
No worries. So Tristan,
real quick though, I gotta say this for Tristan. So most people try to become somebody they're not. They try to like flex or whatever. Tristan actually lives that lifestyle, and it's funny because him and his brother are the proof of concept that most people want to be, and they actually live the lifestyle, which is crazy. So shout out to them.
Yeah. So Tristan, can you tell us a little bit about? We want the Tristan story, Batman story. Okay, the Tristan Batman story. Can you tell us about coming up with your brother, what it was like before the cars, the women, the suits, the cars, the cigars, etc.?
KFC stories.
Yeah, no, I mean, it was a very hard upbringing. I think myself and my brother, we never wanted to slip into the trap that a lot of our friends fell into. We never wanted to, be selling drugs or doing that kind of protection work or doing low-level crime shit that was going to end up putting us in jail. So we never went down the criminal route. Me and my brother have clean criminal records, both of us. And we found kickboxing, and kickboxing earned us almost zero money. I'm the 2-time European champion. My brother was a 4-time world champion. It earned us zero money, but it taught us a lot about, discipline, self-respect, kept us away from the drugs. I've never tried any kind of narcotic, and kept us healthy. And it helped open our eyes to what was possible in the world. The people who run these big fight shows in Russia and Brazil and some places that we'd go, even though we were sleeping in cheap hotels, we had one room. I'm sleeping on the floor. He's sleeping in the bed because he's got a fight coming up. We saw millionaires and like fat Russian dudes with like teams of women on their table. Women I couldn't talk to as a kickboxer. The ring girls. You try and talk to them after the show, but they're banging the owner of the show. I'm like, what is this? So it really opened our eyes. And I think kickboxing is a very important part of our foundational story and my foundational story, because it just, made me realize that there were higher mountains to climb, and beating up the next guy in the ring wasn't the be all and end all to life. That I had to end up with a Lamborghini key in my pocket. I had to end up with $1 million. I couldn't imagine my life turning out any other way. I had to get there. And somehow by hard work and a few miracles, we did it.
And Tristan, I want the people, because this is very important, especially to me. Can you tell the people what you do to this day on your birthday?
On my birthday, every single birthday, I eat KFC every single year. So there's a very famous story that your viewers may not have heard, that me and my brother, we needed protein because we used to train and we used to kickbox all the time. So rice was cheap, of course, but meat was very expensive. Meat and cheese were very expensive. So if it ever got really, really hard, we would drive my broken Volkswagen Golf up to the KFC restaurant in Dunstable, the White Lion Retail Park, Dunstable, if anyone wants details. And I would sit there in my car, and I used to have this trash bag, and you could never scavenge someone's leftover McDonald's or somebody's leftover Pizza Hut because their mouth's been on it, they've been touching it. But, in KFC, people buy buckets. They buy these buckets, they eat a few pieces of chicken, but they leave them on the table, and there's always 3 or 4 pieces left. People don't actually finish them. They get greedy and order more than they can actually handle. So I'd go there, and I'd take the bucket, and I'd take these pieces of chicken, I put them in this garbage bag, take home 30, 40 pieces of chicken after collecting all day. I'd freeze them. Time's coming up, but I made it.
Yeah, and I wanted you guys to hear that, because it wasn't all glitz and glamour and girls and Ferraris and Bugattis, as you guys would say.
Yeah.
These guys really busted their ass. They got out the mud. And Tristan, can you tell them? And again, I want the people to know this. What are the injuries that you suffer from right now, being a former professional fighter?
So my entire shoulder was shattered. I had to have it reconstructed and rebuilt in January of this year. So I'm now rehabilitating from that. My nose has been broken 3 times. If you look at my face, my nose sits and leans to the left. I could get that fixed for a very menial amount of money, but I wear it as a badge of pride. I don't believe that cosmetic surgery for men is the way to go.
I agree.
I have all sorts of damage to my hands. The knuckles all damaged, the scars. My hands open very slowly and close very slowly. But it's a very important part of my life, and that knowing how to fight, just like with in the United States, being trained with weapons and knowing how to shoot very well, it's a skill that you carry around with you everywhere you go, and you never know when you're going to need it. You know, when someone sits on your car, you know, when someone, you never know when you're going to need to know how to throw a punch.
Yeah.
And yeah, the injuries are absolutely well worth it, because every single sport, you know, Jay Waller talks about this with American football. There's an element of toil that breaks your body down. And as you get older, you have these injuries, but there's also, you know, the cardiovascular fitness benefits of it. So it's a mixed bag. You don't want to go too far in one direction and damage yourself too much, but it's healthy, but at the same time it's damaging. But you know, you can't escape aging, and you can't escape to need to know how to throw a punch. So you may as well do it in style with a few title belts and a few cool stories.
Speaking of hands and cars, what happened with that story with the Bugatti?
Well, pretty much. Those guys were in the wrong place at the wrong time, because I was pissed. I was pissed all day. I had parked my Bugatti outside a hotel in Cluj-Napoca, which is a Romanian city. I didn't have my security guards with me. I didn't have my security team. And all sorts of people were gathering all day long to take pictures of the car. I was watching from the balcony. It was pretty cool. And then this little fat kid tags himself in a picture leaning on my car. So I sent him a message saying, what the fuck are you leaning on my car for? Delete that picture. It's disrespectful. He's like, oh, I'm just giving your car a free polish because it's the internet. So obviously, this being Romania, I post the photo and I say, 200 euros for this kid's name and address. So he immediately apologizes and backs off. And I'm thinking, you know what? If I'd caught him doing it. There's a line from Pulp Fiction where, is it Vince Vega? Where he says about someone scratching his car. Yeah. And he says it would have been worth them doing it if I could have just caught him doing it. Yeah. You know? Yeah. And I was thinking about that quote all day. And this fat kid and how brave he was after the fact that I caught him and after he got home and he thought he was safe because it was the internet. So I go to the club that night, you know, I'm with a few women, I'm having fun. I'm driving home in the taxi with Andrew. And as I pull up, lo and behold, there's 2 people sitting on the car. I thought I was like jackpot, but there was 2 dudes sitting on the car, another 6 with them. It was a team of 8 people. And I didn't see people who saw the video and said, oh, you know, the guy you actually knocked out was shorter than you. The guy who I punched second was about 6'1", 6'2", but I didn't know their size. I didn't know who they were from across the street. But I looked at Andrew, no words spoken. We got out and instantly engaged. So I don't have that content anywhere because that gets you in trouble. But if you Google Bugatti owners punched, Bugatti street fight, Bugatti punch Tate, if you put the right words together in Google, someone will have it up there. But don't sit on another man's car. I think the arrogance and the attitude that makes people think that they're entitled to do that is the fact that they think rich people are just somehow blessed. They don't realize I worked for 34 years of my life to be in a position where I can find, for all the shit I was just telling you about that I went through, to be in the position where I can buy a $5 million car and be proud of it and be happy with it and you drive it around. And you don't have a right to sit on that. I don't have a right to sit on a man's BMW. I don't have a right to sit on a man's Toyota. That's his car. He worked for that. That's his money. So yeah, they deserved exactly what they got, and I would do it again. So don't sit on my car.
Don't sit on his car, guys.
Bugatti, bro. Don't do it, bro.
So Tristan, real quick, and then I'll read the chats after. Yep. Can you tell us a little bit about how you guys came from that poverty, like step by step? Like, so you're fighting, and you former, you have a championship belt yourself.
2 European championships.
2 European championships. Obviously a lot of pain and toil to get there. How did you guys go from being in Luton, poor, scavenging for chicken, broken hands, injuries, etc., How'd you get to building an empire up
Well-
and becoming your first millionaire?
Well, the long form story of this has been told many times, but essentially, me and my brother discovered a life hack. We discovered something that we were very good at. And all of our lives, even through our kickboxing careers, being completely flat broke, we always had beautiful girlfriends. We always had 1 or 2 or 3 beautiful women around us. And we essentially discovered that girls could stream on the internet and make money because simps want to give them money. And that as soon as that clicked in our heads, I remember I was working a sales job at the time, and I was making maybe $1,000 a week on a very, very good week. So I come home from my sales job. Andrew's done his first day with this girl doing some streaming. And he says, Tristan, something amazing has happened. And I was like, something amazing has happened. He goes, how much money did you make today? I said, oh, I sold this and this. I was selling home improvements. I made like 300 pounds. And I've made more than you. I said, fuck off. You haven't made more than me. What? At home? What's sitting here? And this is, remember now, 11 years ago. This is a long time back before internet money was such a real concept. I don't think YouTube had built-in monetization and super chats like it does today. Yeah. Twitch hadn't taken off in a massive way yet. And that day, although he'd already beaten me by the time I got home, he'd made a total of like 550 pounds in a day from home with just his girlfriend and a camera. I was like, the fuck is this? So literally, with our mindset and our hunger and our attitude, within no time, within a year, we had a big 4-bedroom, 5-bedroom penthouse with women streaming from every corner of the room. You know, in each corner. We couldn't even manage all of our women until we were making, at our very peak, we had about 75 models working for us live, and we were making $3-4 million a year in profit. And that was my first step onto certainly how I made my first million. It was my first taste of real money.
Can I mention that if Tristan and Andrew were smoking weed, doing dumb stuff at home, not being focused, they would not be able to see the opportunity. And they saw it because they were hungry and they were looking for it. So that's very important, man.
And also what I'd say is, you know, in that industry back when it existed, because OnlyFans and stuff has killed that stuff a little bit, you also can't be too thirsty for the lifestyle. You're surrounded by beautiful women. You can't just be having sex all day, drinking with the girls all day, taking them out all the time. It was very, very professional. Spreadsheets, regimented. Are you on time? You get ready. We slept in shifts at points. And we were sleeping 3-4 hours a night each, 24 hours a day, around the clock, 365 days a year we were running. And it made us a lot of money. It was a lot of hard work. And to anyone who says anything about, you know, it was wrong to do that, or you were exploiting your employees, etc., let me just give you a very quick example now, because people don't understand the nature of a webcam studio or a webcam management business. The only thought experiment I would tell you, and you two, I could ask you, I'd say, how many OnlyFans girls do you know? Hundreds. It's in the hundreds, yes? Yeah. Ask them all honestly, if they run their own accounts or if a management company takes care of their accounts. Because they're not on their accounts typing to these simps all day. You're talking, bro, if you're on OnlyFans talking to girls, you're talking to dudes. You're talking to dudes in the Philippines who are running these messages and getting the money out of you. You are not talking to that girl almost in 90% of cases. So if you were to ask these girls who works for a management company, they'd be like, me. No one points at them and says, oh, your management company is exploiting you and you're being pimped and you're kind of. So I was just doing it way before OnlyFans existed. Right. But I'm out of that industry now. It's I don't shit talk it because it did make me a lot of money, but it's been about 3.5 years since I've had anything to do with that. But that is how I made my first money, and I am not ashamed of myself. I'm very proud of myself. And no one who's ever worked for me and Andrew, even in the hurricane caused by our recent blow up, has ever come forward and said that working with me or for me was in any way a negative experience. And
I must say, we've been in Romania for like, what, 3-4 days now? Yeah. And every time I see Tristan with women, they're always pleasant, always happy to be there. So that's a very good, true thing, man. They're happy to be around you.
Yeah, I think that an accusation that you know, left wingers and dudes who can't get laid will point at even people like you. Yeah. People like myself will be like, oh, you sleep with all these women. You are sleeping with these women. You are, using these women somehow. What they don't understand is that women are the sexual gatekeepers. Women decide who they have sex with. So if the left are correct, and I agree with them, that women are completely free to go around the world and jump into bed with whoever they like, and they choose to jump into bed with me, you're not judging me on my lifestyle. You're judging all those women. You're telling them, no, you can't decide who you have sex with. No, you have to have sex with someone like me, not someone like Fresh, not someone like Fit, not someone like Tristan. So they're actually being misogynistic and hating on women by saying that I shouldn't sleep with so many women. Yeah. Because they sleep with me. I mean, you've met plenty of girls I know. I mean, I'm not forcing them to be around me.
They want to be there, trust me.
Exactly. You can't be strong and independent and be able to make your own decisions and be a boss while simultaneously saying, oh, no, I didn't. When you're the one picking the people that you had sex with, you can't sit there and take the victim mindset as well.
Yeah, and it's not something that men do to women. It's something that women choose to let men do to them.
So
that's what I would say.
So you guys have the webcam business. You
Yeah.
got your empire. 75 girls working for you.
Yeah.
What was that like? Because you were living with these women. You were working with these women. You were in London first. What was that like?
I didn't go on vacation for 2.5 years. It was a straight money mission. And the thing is with money is once you realize you can generate these insane amounts, the hunger becomes real. And we got addicted to the money. It wasn't about the lifestyle. It wasn't about the sex. No one on the internet knew who I was at this point. My Instagram had about 1,000 followers. I didn't have a photographer. I wasn't trying to flex. I wasn't producing YouTube content. I wasn't doing any of that. I was just sitting there with Andrew every single day, looking at our spreadsheets. Okay, how much have we made today? X thousand. Okay, that's good. Tomorrow we need to put this girl here. We need to change her set a little bit here. I don't know. They put this one in a little cute anime costume. And we just worked and toiled away at this until eventually we started, because it sometimes takes money to make money. And with the millions of dollars that we had, we made some very smart investments and we started running other businesses. Most people who know me know the kind of things that I'm into. I'm not going to talk too much about my current business portfolio. But when that happened, I realized I'm making so much money doing other things where 100% of my effort, my passion, my time is being sucked into this studio and this webcam project, which is now only making me 25% of my income. So let me take my foot off the gas there and concentrate on other things. And that was the start of our I guess, second meteoric rise from Lamborghini money to Bugatti money.
Yeah, and that's a good point. They had money before they came onto YouTube. Legendary.
Yeah, way before.
There's a photo. In fact, I'll unarchive it from Instagram. I think it's in 2017 of me standing next to a Lamborghini Huracan when they just come out and an Aston Martin Vanquish, an older model, not the one I currently have, and it got 112 likes at the time. So I already had $500,000 worth of cars when I was the kind of guy who got 100 likes on a photo. So no, we are not created by the internet. We are not guys who, made a bunch of money because we blew up on the internet. We've had money for quite a while. I made my first million at 28 and I'm 34 now. So
wow,
millionaire for 6 years.
So Fresh, can you read some of these chats real fast?
Yes.
There you go. I'll pass you the
some here.
Just flick the pictures.
So this one came in earlier. Girls Vision $50 says, when Rod Eric said the other day, yo, Tristan named that flick my partner's country, but me and rock and roll. Sounded familiar from the Glimmer Man movie. Tristan, didn't you say you'd give away 1,000 if someone did the challenge?
Yeah, I did. I did actually. You know what? And I forget I say these things. So because you pulled me up on it, I'm going to give you $1,000 because you obviously did it. You obviously watched The Glimmer Man by Steven Seagal. So this guy right here, you've just won $1,000.
I know him personally.
Yeah, you know him personally?
And it's funny because...
But I got to pay you in crypto. So it's Bitcoin or Ethereum. He knows you personally. You're going to get the $1,000 for reminding me that I said that because I'm a man of my word. And I say things on podcasts. I'll give $1,000 to someone watches The Glimmer Man. And so, good. All right, you win.
And I must say, he's a proud member of the CEO gang. So shout out to you, bro.
Good. You just won yourself $1,000, my friend. Well done.
We have here Marley Dawn says, Fresh, how much for a feature for the Mandem, bro? Bro, I don't know what you're talking about, bro. Shout out to the Mandem. We have here Zudar Saint, $200, Don DeMarco. He says, all of you guys have been giving me gems in life for over a year now. I appreciate that. 14K last year, 6 figures this year. As a 20-year-old, wish you guys the best. Tristan, I'll be joining the war room soon. Remember my name, Yoga Fire. Shout out to you, Zodar.
My friend.
Yep. And we have here as well, Mine Grown, $50 says, Myron, great job working with a new setup. Fresh, nice sweatshirt. Top G. Tristan, always so hot.
Yeah.
Are you a guy, bro? That's kind of weird if you're a guy. Okay.
Yeah.
We have here Luke Solis, $100 says, 23 years old, fresh out of college in San Diego. Live with my parents, started my own business, making $35K a month. When do I know to keep building, investing compared to when I should reward myself with an exotic car and or nice sky rise apartment? So he wants to know when to start spoiling himself, making his money.
It depends. It really depends. What I would say is my financial advice that I give to everybody, including how I live today, is I did $10,000 in the club the other day. I spend half of my money like I'm going to live 50 more years and half of my money like I'm going to live 50 more days. Because you know what? I might only live 50 more days. You don't fucking know. No one knows. And life is very, very short. So I think if you put all your money in the bank, saving for a rainy day, you might just die with millions of dollars in the bank. Never ever having been that guy who, had a Ferrari or had a Lamborghini, even though you've had the money. And then no one's ever going to, then you didn't squeeze all the juice out of the lemon of life.
You made a good point at lunch today. You said, for example, if you're making money, why not have both? You can invest your money and still have fun at the same time.
Yeah, I think it's a matrix control mechanism, this stupid shit. Like, oh, you don't need nice clothes and nice watches and, a nice belt and a nice car. You should get a rental property. But no, work your ass off and, make your investments and be smart and get your rental properties, but dress well while you do it. buy the chain, buy the watch, buy the, buy whatever you like, and also, make smart investments with your money. But again, that's the spend half your money like you're going to live 50 more years and half like you're going to live 50 more days mindset. I've got a super chat for you. Are you boozing with me? That's a super chat for Tristan today.
You know what? I've been a bad influence on Tristan today. He at McDonald's. Shout out to you.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna drink today because hey, you know what? I influenced him. He influenced me. And I'm not gonna lie, man. I'm in Romania once a year, maybe. Never first time.
Yeah.
So
and I'm not drinking, guys, because
he lost his voice.
I'm the producer.
He lost his
I'm
voice.
the Mr. Producer, and I lost my voice.
What is
and
this?
and
this is brandy, my friend.
Brandy, I'm about to die, bro. I think some Coke with this or some
Coke.
soda.
Coke. What the Coke? My disdain for Americans and their culture is gonna go this. I'm gonna start cussing Americans in a second. This is Cardinal Mendoza Grand Reserve brandy, and you want to mix it with Coke. This isn't Henny, my friend. This isn't a $12 bottle. And you want to mix it with Coca-Cola? But you know what? Yeah. I knew you were that type of guy, so I got you some. I knew you were that kind of guy, Fresh. So you know what? Good. You're the first man. There are brandy connoisseurs worldwide where if they saw this, and you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna do it too. I'm gonna mix mine with Coke.
And by the way,
I'm gonna go full American.
By the way, it's my first time drinking on stream. So shout out to y'all, man, and demand them.
So guys, we got 11,000 y'all in here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna kill all the other streams except for YouTube. So come on over to YouTube right now, guys. And then also, Tristan, can you tell them real quick, because you was talking about investing money and everything else like that. And I tell you guys all the time, you got to go ahead and take your earned income, invest into assets. The assets pay you back some dividend money. Then you can go buy all the other stuff that you guys want to buy, etc. But there's ways to make money on the internet nowadays. Can you tell them about that real quick?
Yeah. Well, if we're talking about Hustlers University, Hustlers University is absolutely wonderful. As I said, when I was young, there was no way I could ever contact a millionaire or have them coach me or have my advice, or have myself advised by them. For the 18 modern days of ways of wealth creation, vary from stock trading and other to crypto to affiliate marketing, and every single person in the Hustlers University is actually a member of the War Room, who I verified to be a millionaire in their own field, and I verified to have made $1 million in that field before I gave them the job as a professor. I think the great thing about Hustlers University is it couldn't have been built by anyone but myself and my brother, because without the network that is the War Room, so the professors obviously get paid. They were, when Hustlers University was a very tiny business making like, a couple $100s a day. These were millionaires giving hours of their time every single day, working essentially for free for amounts of money that did not matter to them. But they believed in myself and my brother. They believed I could grow the business and make it worth their time. So it's worth their time and it's worth everyone else's money, because, how else are you going to upgrade your phone from having 0 millionaires in it willing to talk to you to having 18? So there's a Hustlers University link on the description of this page. Make sure you go through that link and sign up, and I'll see you inside. It's an absolutely amazing program.
And guys, everything you want out of life is behind being successful. You want girls, you want a good lifestyle, you want to live the life that you want. It's behind money. And sorry to say, bro, you need money in this lifestyle. So it's what it is.
All right, cool. So Tristan, you guys go ahead and you start the webcam business. You get the height, you get all these girls working for you, etc. How were you able to keep the girls loyal to you guys while simultaneously making money?
To say group sex would be a short way of doing it, but no. I had some girls work for me who had boyfriends, who had husbands, who would literally come to my studio, work their shift, and leave. I had a lot of professional girls who were, like married. I had a virgin work for me at one point for a very long time and made a lot of money. So don't necessarily judge girls who do webcam work or OnlyFans, because there's some really great girls who do it, and it's a wonderful hustle. It's a wonderful hustle. I mean, if you were to tell me back in my KFC chicken scavenging days, I could just take pictures of my dick and and make 5 figures. So I'd probably do it my damn self. So I would say, a lot of the girls worked for me because they love me. I mean, me and my brother preach about the healthy how healthy it is to have a good male female dynamic in your life. That's one of the most important things in life. And a lot of the women who worked for me, even to this day, some of those women love me and respect me and care about me. And they wanted to be successful themselves, but they really wanted to, they really enjoyed the fact that they got to live in this big mansion. They enjoyed that they got to be taken around in the Lamborghini. So me making money by coaching and helping these girls stream was also beneficial to their lifestyle. It was upgrading their lifestyle as well as their bank balance, because they got to be with me. So that was one of the best, I guess, methods I could say for keeping them happy, keeping them loyal, keeping them working. I go to the club with them all. I'd spend $10,000 a day. So it wasn't just, me making money and saying girls get online and them living boring lives stuck in a bedroom. No.
And I think you leading by example. You being the type of guy that actually like cares about them genuinely. Because I can see even right now, bro, even being here in Romania, Myron, just watching Tristan, he actually cares about people around him, and that love and affection that like people don't really show. He shows it, and that's good, man. Because you're not just a playboy; you're more like a person that cares about.
I'm a gentleman.
Yeah.
I really am, and you know, me and Jay Waller did that stream, Gentleman Game, that got over 500,000 views. That's the best way I can describe it. There's no way to live a life to have an abundance of females if you really truly are disrespectful and you truly don't care about the women.
Yeah.
And a lot of people can do it, and some rappers, etc., talk about hit it and quit it, but they will never get the true enjoyment of male female relationships. They'll never get it because they'll never have women who actually fall in love with them. If you want to go around treating people like shit, you're never gonna have any friends, you're not gonna have any girlfriends. Everyone's gonna be out to use you, and what goes around comes around. So yeah, be nice. I say it all the time.
And the foundation of being a playboy is you got to get girls to respect you. And that's where the loyalty comes from. Can you describe that a little bit as far as building that trust and attachment?
Yeah, and it's what Fresh said earlier about the money to live this lifestyle is very, very important. I went through a phase when I was completely flat broke, but I was a kickboxer. I was working hard. I was staying focused in a very bad town where a lot of people were very bad people, and that was a different era. That era is over. That era is completely over. What's happened is where 14 years ago, it was possible to meet a girlfriend, date a girl who was pretty, and she didn't have access to all the millionaires in the world. If there was a pretty girl from Luton Town,
Instagram,
exactly. Whereas nowadays, if you're a young man, you're 17, 18, 19, you got to get your money game right. And you have to have a lifestyle that is at least interesting to women, because the same woman that you would have taken out 20 years ago that you would have had access to, maybe you go to university with her, maybe you just finished high school with her, she's now being hit up by people like me. And who she's going to choose. So yeah, making the money and getting your finances right is super, super important to living a life.
And you know what's funny? People say all the time, we're safe because we're in a small town. It doesn't really matter. Nobody's safe. It's Instagram.
Yeah.
The access is out there. So you think you're safe? No, you're not, bro. Because if Tristan hits her up or me, she's coming, brother.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
It's what it is. So that's funny. All right, guys. So I guess Tristan, I want to ask you this question. So
give that to Myron.
Here we go. Here you go, man.
Yeah, go on, ask.
So, in my opinion, I think you're a great guy, but at the same time, it's like people paint you in a bad light. If you could summarize yourself in 3 words, what would that be?
3 words. That is a very good question. Efficient.
Efficient. Why you say efficient?
That's the joke. Efficient. 3 words. I just wanted that. You didn't get it. That one went over your head. That one over
Fresh.
your head. Myron got it. I saw him smiling.
Yeah.
Listen, man. I'm drinking right now.
Yeah. Oh, you've had 1 sip, bro. Come on, you got to learn to booze better if you're with me.
It's pretty good, bro.
3 words. Literally, I'd say loyal, honorable, and respectful. I treat everybody from the waiter to my housekeepers, to my security with the absolute utmost respect. I'm loyal to the point where I will never, ever, ever stab a friend in the back. Talk shit. I mean, I only met you guys a few times when someone on a podcast tried to ask me questions about you, calling you guys all sorts of names. I was like, no. That has not been my experience with those 2 men.
Right.
I will never, for clout or for money or for pussy, ever snake a man. So yeah, I'm very loyal and honorable. That's just general the way I live my life. I take very good care of my mother. I take very good care of my daughter. I always say, like, I'm no sugar daddy, and I don't throw money at women and try to impress them and blow their minds, apart from my baby girl and my mom. So yeah, I'd certainly spoil those 2 women. But yeah, those are the 3 words that describe me. That's how I live.
Well, I gotta say, bro, the security, your helpers, even people working on the gardening around the property are super nice. Always show love, and it's because you treat them well. So that's testament to what you're saying.
Yeah, no, you have to be that way.
So Tristan, so tell me how. So you guys started your webcam business in London and then moved it over to Romania, which actually was a transition for you guys to move here. What prompted that switch, and what was it like transitioning from the West to Eastern Europe?
A lot of people try to look at Romania in a very negative light. Even when you were at the restaurant the other day, like, oh man, there's a Lambo truck here, 2 Porsche trucks, there's a Rolls Royce driving down the street. We saw Lamborghinis everywhere. People like to paint Romania in a very negative light. And I think the people out to get me and the people out to talk shit about me always look for some correlation between, well, he was involved in, in a business which could be called adult entertainment. He moves to Eastern Europe. What's the game there? What's the trick? Was he trying to get Romanian girls to work for him? The ironic thing is, I never had a Romanian girl work for me until maybe my last 1 or 2 years. All of my models were British anyway. They were British or Western European. the transition had nothing to do with work. I just made some very good friends through kickboxing, through commentating on the RXF fight show, which is a big MMA fight show here in Romania. I'm now a part owner of it. I made some very good friends. I loved coming out here all the time. I come out here and commentate on all the shows. Herb Dean, the UFC referee, be the ref. Me and him would drink together, have some fun in Romania. And I just looked forward to my visits to Romania so much to do this bullshit commentary job, which was paying me nothing. They just paid my flights and hotels. I thought, what the fuck am I doing in England? Romanian internet speeds are 10 times higher. Property's cheaper. Maybe I should just, explore, trying to be happy somewhere else, because I wasn't happy in England doing what I was doing. So the move had nothing to do with work. It had nothing to do with the business I was in. And a lot of the models who worked for me at the time were British, and they said, no, I'm not moving to Romania. I don't want to move to Romania. And a lot of them said, you know what? Yeah, we trust you. Okay, cool. Let's move to Romania and live a better life.
You actually lost some coming here.
Yeah, no, yeah, we did. We lost some models coming here. And Romania is a place that people don't know very much about. So it made recruitment harder in terms of, we have a webcam studio. It's here in Bucharest, Romania. It made it scarier than saying it was in London. So, it was probably a financial hit and a burden to the business, if anything. But the answer is I just wanted to move. And as soon as I did, I knew I did the right thing. And I live very, very well here. And I'm very happy here.
Well, to be fair, bro, anything's better than London.
but you guys just got back from your first time in London. How did you find London? I'd like to know as a proud British man myself.
Here's a video on Patreon if you want to see what happened to us. But okay, I'll say this. So London itself, like downtown London, where like the Central Park is, wasn't that bad. But other parts, man, bro, we were like kind of like nervous because, bro, fresh and fit, we don't know what's going on. But the food was good, pretty reasonable. People look depressed though. The weather's kind of weird. It's like people are depressed all the way through.
Yeah.
They're like NPCs, bro.
Yeah.
Walking on the street, go to work, smug face, no hi, no bye. It's just very like they're like robots, honestly.
Yeah, and the thing is with London is there's nothing about London that you can't do better somewhere else. Besides, I will give it to London, shopping. London is very, very good for shopping, and that's where I get all my suits made. So they're very good for tailoring. But besides that, there's nothing you could do in London that you couldn't do somewhere else in a sunnier, warmer, nicer environment with more beautiful women around. How did you find the British girls?
Bro, we walked for hours. Big Ben. Oh, where else did we go? The park.
Yeah.
And bro, I must say this. Shout out to the man them. There's no paintings in London, bro. Maybe I didn't see them. Maybe I went to the wrong places. Maybe they're in school, whatever. Bro, I didn't see shit. I saw old ladies and people that looked like busted Pillsbury.
I will say, as a man with more London experience than you, that the London girls do exist, and there are some very beautiful British women, and there are some very beautiful women in London, but they're all behind weird members only clubs and bars that you're not going to get into, and they don't like going out in public. And with the problems that have gone on in London and the crime skyrocketing and the type of violent people, I don't want to get too political, that are all around London at the moment. I know hot girls who live in London where if they're going to the corner store and they're going to the shop or they're going to the gas station, they don't want to put on a dress and high heels and get dolled up like they do in Romania. They don't want to walk the streets looking like that. So they'll put on a hooded top, no makeup. They don't want to be bothered because the type of people who are going to approach them are now dangerous. It's become a dangerous city. So you won't see baddies because she's walking past you looking chubby because she's wearing a fucking hooded top and some sweatpants and some sneakers. She isn't looking her best because she doesn't want to be walking the streets looking like that. So London, it's it's fallen, and with the death of the Queen, the last great thing about British civilization is now over. So I'm Romanian now.
So first, can you hear some of those chats?
Yeah, I got you.
Okay. And while he pulls that up, Tristan, I was going to ask. So when you moved from London to Romania, how many girls did you have, and then how many did you lose, if you remember?
Not many. No, I didn't have many at the time. My business really grew and took off after that. It was quite the early days. I had maybe 22 models and 15 moved, maybe. It was about 15 because I remember I owned 3 apartments here at the time. They had 2 or 3 bedrooms each, and it was enough to work 24 hours a day. So I had 15 girls I bought up.
15 girls. Yeah. And what year was this approximately?
Oh, Jesus. 2000. So I must have been about 26 and a half at the time. So yeah, you could do the math. I'm 34 now. So
yeah. So quite a while. And then you made your first million when you were how old?
28. Damn. 28. In fact, what's funny is this: when you concentrate on your goals, this is a completely true story. I never tried to calculate my net worth if I was a millionaire or not, because that wasn't very interesting to me. I wanted to have $1 million in the bank in cash or crypto, $1 million. And the time me and Andrew said, you know what? Let's count all of our money and let's see if we have $1 million each, because we have to divide it by 2, to be fair. Let's see if we're millionaires yet. We decided to pool all our money and actually count it, but we've been working so hard and concentrating on the money so much that when we counted the money, we had like 2.3 million. So we each had $1,150,000. So I missed it by a month. I probably became a millionaire a month before that, and I'd simply not looked because I was too busy focusing on the goal, and my money wasn't in just one account for me to look at the bank balance. So
Wow.
Is that mouse working?
Yeah, no, it's not. It's not. I'm gonna try to get it charged, guys. I know you're wondering why we're not highlighting chats right now. Is because the mouse is dead, but I'm gonna have one of our guys in the back handle that. And again, guys, I apologize. My voice is gone.
Yo, we party too hard, man.
Bro, if you come hang out with me, your voice would go too. So don't hate on him.
I don't smoke, guys. So like when we're in the club and everything, everyone smokes here in Europe. So I inhaled it, and I didn't smoke one cigarette, one cigar yesterday, and I lost my voice, man.
Everybody smokes. When in Rome, do what the Romans do.
So sorry about that, guys.
Derek Wellstar, welcome to as a supporter. And by the way, shout out to everyone buying the HU course right now. I see people filing in. Shout out to y'all.
Yep.
Mad W's for that. Jameson Broadband, shout out to you, $20. And then we have here as well, Foreign Jew says, "Amen. Shout out to his legendary stream. FNF, we up." Shout out to your brother. And MLD, Modern Life Dating says, "Feel better, Myron." Shout out to Fresh and Tristan. Shout out to you, bro. And
Thank you.
That's it for now.
Thank you.
All right, cool. So, so now you're in Romania. You've built up a little bit of an empire. Now, tell me the trend. What made you guys start YouTube? At this point, you guys made your money. So it's like, you guys didn't. And I want to make that very clear because people don't know this. You guys never had to come on YouTube ever.
Yeah. No, we didn't. You know what it was? It was just I knew the world was missing out on what me and Andrew said and did. And it sounds so arrogant at the time, but if you look at how important the message that me and Andrew put out is and how many young men flock to us and the size of our fan bases and how much we've blown up, I was completely correct. It was a call that myself and my brother made. I was invited to Stade in Switzerland to test drive some new Ferrari because I was on the Ferrari, owners list, and they invited me to come test this car. I didn't like the car very much. It was one of those hybrids. And it was their first prototype hybrid. And I was driving this car around the track, and we get back to this hotel with some beautiful women, and the hotel's fucking amazing. It's in the mountains. And I take a crappy picture on my phone. I think, do I post this on Instagram? I've never been much of a social media guy. And me and Andrew were sitting having drinks saying, you know what? Why is none of this documented? Why does nobody know that this is possible? Because 5 years ago, I didn't know that kind of thing was possible in life. So I was like, you know what? The world needs to see more of this. So let's find a camera guy to follow us around. And the original guy's name was Mike. And we've had a few cameramen over the years. Now it's Luke, who literally just films our footage on a mobile phone. And
shout out to Luke.
Yeah, shout out to Luke. And it will be me and Andrew. There was a time that we actually spent $1 million in a day. And the episode is so crap and it's held on a shaky little phone. I don't think anyone shows that level of flexing and spending on YouTube with such low production quality, which is the magic of Tate Confidential. So find us on Rumble because YouTube don't like us anymore. So.
Can you tell the people why though? There's actually a very legit reason why you had to do that in Romania.
Yeah, well, so a colleague of theirs, I'm not going to say his name, walks into the cigar lounge the other day, and we're sitting smoking cigars. He's got this little camera jib thing on his cell phone.
Gimbal.
He's waving around like this, and I'm like, bro. Fucking quit it. Because Romania is not like the West, and Eastern Europe is not like the West. Russia is very much like Romania in this way. If you go to a cigar lounge, there will be men there having conversations that they don't want anyone recording. They could speak out in the open. They could sit there and have their conversations about whatever it is they're talking about. I do this too. Me and my brother will sit having conversations that, and we'll just speak freely because people in Romania don't spy on each other. They look the other way. They don't snitch on each other. But if you walk somewhere with a clear, visible camera and start recording, they're going to tell you to put it down. I mean, there are politicians, businessmen, multimillionaire Romanians who are taking their girlfriends on dates, not their wives, and they're hanging out at all the cool spots and all the best places. So no, they just simply won't let you walk around using a camera. And I don't blame them because I don't like that either. I don't like people waving a camera in my face. So yeah, I had to tell your guy off a little bit. But so on a cell phone, you can always get away with recording whatever you like. And that's the reason Take Off on Echo has such low production quality. But there was a time that the day we bought the Rolls Royce, between the Rolls Royce, me paying my invoice at my tailor, Andrew going shopping in Harrods in London, and we also sent about 200 grand for the renovation of the house out of our bank. $1 million was spent from our account in a single day. Sheesh. And the episode is so average. I'm just like, no one flexes like this with such bad production quality. But that is exactly your point. I don't need the internet. I didn't need to make the best edited crazy show. I just needed to, show people I was living well. So that's
inspiration, man. It's funny because I told my family that's coming to Romania, right? They're like, who goes to Romania? But after coming here, man, being at the Tate Mansion, the lifestyle, I can see why you're here because you know what? You build a network with people that you trust.
Yeah.
And that's very important. Even in Miami, we have that network where like, people that own clubs, people that actually like, are part of our ecosystem, and like having a network is powerful no matter where you are.
And the owner of the club came and introduced himself to you guys yesterday.
Yeah. When it comes to Miami, we're going to take care of him.
Yeah, exactly.
So Tristan, so now we know a little bit more about your come up, right?
Yeah.
How you became the man that you are today, from fighting, scavenging for KFC pieces of meat to get your protein in, and then becoming a multimillionaire through webcam, and then, documenting that life through YouTube. So tell us a little bit about the dating marketplace. You're very good with the ladies. Can you tell us, I guess, in a snapshot, how dating has changed just in your, short existence of 3+ decades?
Yeah, no, in my lifetime, it's changed absolutely massively. It's a lot more men have been priced out of the sexual marketplace. It like 100% priced out of the sexual marketplace. And that is the actual correct term to use. And, I touched on this earlier, but I'm going to expand on this. As I was saying, if a girl from a small village in Ukraine somewhere 20 years ago would marry the other guy from the small village in Ukraine and end up, having a family and starting a family with that guy, she's now getting hit up by Saudi sheikhs, people like me, people like you, getting flown out to Miami, and certainly invited out to Miami. So women have higher standards. I would actually say unrealistic standards when it comes to the normal man, because you'll be a normal guy out there working a normal job, and you could maybe provide for a woman and provide for a household, and you're a good looking guy and you stay in shape. But women have developed unrealistic expectations because they believe that all these high value men are all into them. What they don't understand is the high value men are messaging every single girl with a blue tick and a nice ass. so they think, I don't need to date this guy because, this blue checkmark millionaire is in my inbox. But that blue checkmark millionaire isn't going to marry you and isn't going to provide for you and actually care for you 99% of the time. So women's expectations have gone out of control. Men have been priced out of the sexual marketplace, but also men have become much more timid. Yes. They've become timid because real life interaction has become the secondary way of communication. I communicate with almost everyone I know besides my brother much more virtually and digitally than I ever do in real life. So what's happened is this. I touched on this, and I actually came to the conclusion back when I used to run my streaming studio. And people would say, like, who's the core base of your customers? Is it like old men with money, creepy old men? Who'd you guess? Overweight men? No, it's young men all the time. It was 19, 20, 21, 22-year-old men, because men of our generation, and we're just half a generation older than these people. We used to, like a girl, you got to the bar, fucking risk rejection, walk over there, introduce yourself. You had to do the in real life interaction. And so many men are completely terrified by that nowadays because they've never ever done it. If they used to like a girl in school, they wouldn't tell her they liked her. If they would, the first girlfriends who they met when they were 17, 18, 19, it was Tinder swiping. They never had to do that in real life interaction. So they're not just priced out. The skill set isn't there for young men to date beautiful women anymore. Nobody thinks, oh, I need to find some a beautiful girl. Let me, get dressed up in a nice suit, go to the coolest spot in town, drive my car, look for one, find one. They think, oh, well, maybe they're on Bumble and Tinder, and the best girls aren't on those apps. Let me tell you. So yeah, it's a massive lack of talent in men as well. So I think a smaller percentage of men are getting a greater percentage of women than ever before. And it's nice to be at the top of that. It is nice to be at the top. I think everything that happened in my life happened at exactly the right time. I've aged perfectly with how technology has changed and how the dating market has changed, because, it was great for me when I was 18. I could meet a beautiful 18-year-old when Instagram didn't exist, because I used to go kickboxing a bit and I had a vehicle to drive around in, but that would not cut it for an 18-year-old nowadays. So yeah, men need to up their game if they want to have a seat at the top, but the seat at the top is far more pleasant than it ever was.
So competition is high.
No, absolutely. And when we talked about this at lunch yesterday, Tristan, with as far as like men and women and prostitution, everything else like that, and the webcamming. And we talked about how like a large portion of the webcam girls, their clientele came from like the lower tiers of men. And what's happening is that the quality of the women has been going down simultaneously, as long as with the guys as well not being able to have access to women. Very interesting point. Can you expand on that?
Well, that's another thing. I think for all of human history, there's always been a fallback for men. There's always been a fallback, and that fallback was always prostitution. Nowadays it's pornography, webcam interaction, OnlyFans. But what's happening nowadays is so many high value men exist there in the world with access to the most beautiful women in the world. No, it's very, very unlikely a real 10 out of 10 beauty queen at 18, 19 years of age, growing up in, let's say in Paris, thinks, you know what? I'm going to go and shoot porn and get fucked for money. That was the thing that they would actually think 20 years ago. Oh, maybe I can get to America, shoot porn, make it big, you know, sell enough VHS tapes, whatever it is. But the quality of webcam models, and I know this from being in the industry, has gone so far downhill in the last few years, and they've become so much uglier because beautiful women don't need to do that anymore. If you're a beautiful woman, you don't want to sit on a camera 8 hours a day. What you need to do is post a few Instagram pictures. As your Instagram pictures go up, you now get invited to the yachts, the parties, the jets, and you get to live the lifestyle that you previously would have had to work for. So the fallback, the safety net for the men who don't want to do the work and, you know, and still want to sleep with beautiful women, the holes in the net are getting wider and wider and wider because fewer women are turning to prostitution. Fewer women who are actually beautiful are turning to porn, becoming webcam models. So the interaction with these women, even paid, it just doesn't exist anymore. The 10 out of 10 girls who want to be escorts from Russia or whatever, and they do exist, they're in Saudi Arabia getting paid 10 grand a night from a sheikh. They're not going to be standing on the side of the road in Atlanta hoping some John picks them up for $50. That does not exist anymore. If you were to drive down those streets in places like Atlanta, I'd imagine the girls will look horrendous. Not that I'd ever do that. So yeah. So it's not just that it's getting harder to be the man. It's getting harder to be not the man because you don't even have the safety net of being able to pay $100 to sleep with a beautiful woman. Yeah. So yeah, it really, really sucks to be most people in the world right now. But it is better to be a high value man. And mine and my brother's message of saying, you know, improve yourself, get smarter, get fitter, get stronger, dress better, fucking drive a nicer car, earn more money. When I'm saying that to young men, it's because I feel that is now necessary in this world to live a really great life. You can live a life worth living without some of those things, but to live a really great life, you really do need it.
That's a good point you brought up because matter of fact, they don't have to do anything that they don't want to do. They just post a picture, post a video online.
Absolutely.
And people hit them up. And it's funny because it could be an average girl, bro. An average girl, not even a baddie.
Yeah.
Get flown out, get taken care of. And we know people in Miami, of course, that they come on social media, they're not even that bad or average. But guys actually take care of them and become their sugar daddies. So it's like the world has changed, guys. And if you're not up to that level, you're gonna lose. Is what it is.
Yeah, some of the girls I've seen on your show. I mean, look, your show has a lot of beautiful women on it. And a lot of cool women on it. So I'm not going to insult the standard of women on the show, but you've been catfished a few times, and a couple of times, you know, when you got these grotesque looking women sitting there being like, oh, I need a sugar daddy who pays me $10,000 a month. There's now a premium on fat, ugly pussy. Like seriously, because again, it's the access. They have access to everybody in the world. That girl would be standing on a street corner in her hometown making $25 an hour. You know, for back in the 1980s, and it's all changed. The thirst dynamic is so much because the hot girls don't exist anymore, and all the simps and all the guys who pay are just hungrier and hungrier than ever before. So yeah, it doesn't surprise me that these chubby basic girls who want to argue with you can get $10,000 a month from a sugar daddy, because that guy, although he's paying a girl $10,000 a month, you think that's rich? No, he ain't getting a 10 because the 10s are getting $100,000 a month. So there's a premium on fat, ugly pussy nowadays. So if the only way out of this is to become a high value man and to become the kind of man that women naturally want to be around and want to sleep with, and you don't have to be a simp in the first place. That's the only way out of this mess.
Well said. All right, we got some more chats here, and then we'll get into the future of like what's happening in the current marketplace. We have here Frankie Baltimore says, "Hey y'all, it was super inspirational. I feel like a pro in Nigeria now. Tristan, can you please tell them a little bit about a Dagnot?"
About Aliko Dangtoe.
Yeah.
So
go ahead.
No, I mean, not a lot of people know who this is. I actually, just because I've got quite a broad general knowledge. I was just trying to think of any billionaire who made money from something boring. So his name came to my head. So he's Nigerian. Said, "Oh, I'll talk about him more." Yeah, I think he's the richest man in Nigeria, one of Africa's richest men. He was the concrete guy who I mentioned earlier. Oh, I said, do you think Aliko Dangtoe cares about concrete? That was my point. My friend, I don't want to talk about Aliko Dangtoe because no one cares. There was just an example of a billionaire who does like Elon Musk does care about sending rockets to space. He does actually care. So I couldn't use him as an example. So that's why I mentioned him. But yeah, I do know who he is. And
concrete.
Yeah, I do know who he is. So but yeah, we're not talking about Aliko Dangtoe on the stream. No one cares. Google him.
It went over people's heads. It just tells me how well traveled you are. Okay. We have here DL Saint, Everyone Want to Know podcast, Don Marco, if you don't mind. He says, "Great combo, fam. Tristan, I've met Andrew and I look forward to meeting you, brother. Myron, drink some tea. First, I'm coming to Miami for your birthday. Just making sure I'm invited. Yes, you are, my friend. Stay safe, gentlemen. Keep leading from the front. Shout out to you, bro." We have here as well, Greg P says $50. Hey, what's up, guys? Looking good. Question: if you can talk to your younger self, what advice would you give? And is there anything you believe you could have done differently? So that's a good one. Tristan, if you could talk to yourself when you're younger.
I tend not to think about questions like that. I tend not to entertain, but I will. What I call hypothetical universe questions. People give, if you didn't have your brother, where would you be today? Yeah, but I do have my brother. Or when I'm with like a really bad bitch, and she's like, oh, well, she only likes tall guys. She's only dating you because you're tall. I'm like, yeah, but I am tall. like I don't entertain alternate universe questions. And the alternate reality where I could go back in time and talk to my younger self, besides basic shit like buy all the Bitcoin, which, you know what? Here's the thing, though. My second answer was going to be I would tell myself nothing. But my first answer is also I would tell myself nothing. I wouldn't even tell myself buy all the Bitcoin. I'm so happy with where I am now and the fact that I've made my money the hard way. I'm so happy I didn't become a massive billionaire from owning a bunch of coins when I was 25 and quit kickboxing, 3 years before I did. I think everything in my life, you have to take the good with the bad if you're happy where you are. If you drive to a beautiful destination, you have to accept the fact that you had to go over the potholes. You have to accept the fact that it was raining for an hour. You have to accept the fact that you may have broken down. But when you're at that beautiful destination, you're very happy that you made the drive. My life is so beautiful, and looking from the perspective of where I am, going back in time and changing even the slightest thing could alter where I am today. So I would tell myself absolutely nothing.
Tristan, can you talk a little bit about the importance of making that drive?
Oh yeah,
the journey.
Yeah, absolutely.
Why the journey is so important for men?
Well, the journey is massively important because today we're in a bit of a fucked up situation where a lot of people, from basic things like a pump in cryptocurrency, can make too much money without learning any of the lessons of life. See, at least in Hustlers University, you are learning the lessons because you're earning your own money. But some people basically get lucky. It's like winning the lottery. If you've bought some crypto coin and now you have like $100 million because you caught some crazy pump, I mean, yeah, cool. You had the foresight to buy that coin, but tens of thousands of other people put money into other coins that didn't blow up. It's essentially like a lottery win. And when I see young guys who are too wealthy at such a young age from doing something that took so little skill and so little hardship, I just know that they are not prepared to have that kind of money. Like, all right, you have millionaire, you are a millionaire, but you don't know what it takes to be a millionaire because you've never had to go through any struggle. And the journey is super important. The setbacks and the bad things that happen to you make you stronger, sharper, more intelligent. The guy who just said you're exceptionally well traveled. I know who Aliko Deng Toei is. Like, people don't develop any knowledge or culture if they run into money too fast. So if I could teleport around the world, I would still fly on my jet and drive my cars across the European country because it's a more beautiful way to arrive at the destination. It makes it a lot more worthwhile.
I want to add to your point about making money too fast and having it just like given to like a lottery. Because even in Miami, shout out to all my crypto friends that make money pretty fast as well, but they have not developed social skills. They've not developed the skills to like actually do business outside of like buying coins, and as a result, they either spend money stupidly or they don't appreciate what they have and they just blow it. So I would say even us doing YouTube and growing up and not actually having a job before YouTube is like we appreciate what we have because we earned it. So that's a different dynamic itself.
And sorry, go ahead, Tristan.
I was going to say, and there's no one easier in the world to scam, to hustle, to finesse than someone who ran into a bunch of money accidentally. Bro, if I worked for my money and and I've learned all these lessons along the way, and I've had to literally suffer to get to where I am, ain't no girl going to show up at my house and finesse me out of shit. Like the people who are getting finessed by especially women who are like, dating like 5 or 6 guys, got 5 or 6 boyfriends, all paying them allowances and stuff. Those are guys who made money too fast or too easily most of the time. Because, if you worked hard for it, you ain't going to give it away that easy.
We know guys from girls that came on the podcast and literally they made money from crypto. They're millionaires, right? What happened was they never had skill with girls, never had game. And our girls are coming to them. What happens is, oh, babe, I need 10K to pay rent. Can you help me out? They're paying these girls money just because they have money. And then before you know it, crypto is down. They're like, damn, no, I'm broke. So it's funny, man. Like that dynamic itself, if you can't appreciate money, you didn't work for it, you just give it away, it'll destroy you.
And you made a fantastic point just now. Game. You will never learn game faster than when you need to find a girl to take you home because you ain't got a place to sleep. You're never going to develop game faster than when you're thrown in that kind of deep end. Shit, okay, I'm going to go 1-bedroom apartment. Andrew's in there. Fucking, I don't want to fuck her on the couch. Let me try and talk to this girl. And she's got her own place. Okay, how do I get laid tonight to make her take me back to her place. You got to think on your toes. And the developing game is when you're broke and when you're up and coming and when you're struggling in the world, that is a massive way to develop. And especially nowadays, young men, let me tell you something. Nobody is doing it. Go to your local bar, local club, look at some pretty girls and go up and talk to them, because no one's doing it anymore your age. The only people going up and talking to them are people like me, people like you. But yeah, you develop game very well as well.
I want to shout out to Sneeko real quick, because Sneeko is an example of a guy that is having his success, but still goes out there with us to the club and cold approaches girls. And I gotta say this, man. Shout out to you, Sneeko. That's a W. You're doing your thing, bro. Keep it up.
And another thing too, I want to say real fast is that the girls can smell it when you're not experienced with them and you made your money too fast.
Yeah,
it's like sharks in the water.
Yeah. There's blood in the water. They know.
You know, you need to build yourself up, guys, because it's not just about making the money. It's about learning the characteristics that come with making the money that makes you more attractive to the women in the first place. I tell you guys all the time, you don't make the money for the girls. You make the money for yourself, and the women are a byproduct. A lot of the times, making the money makes you a stronger guy, which inherently makes you more attractive.
Yep.
And that's what you need to focus on.
Can you tell them about the girl that we know, Canadian girl, that deals with celebrities, that finesses them, that travels all the time?
Oh, you tell them that story. That's your chick.
No, it's your chick. No,
wait. Oh,
yeah, that
oh,
one.
that one.
This nigga put it on me, bro. That's your chick.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Like, I mean, I've always said a woman's strongest power is you not understanding yours. So if you don't know your worth and your power, they're gonna come in and use you for what you got. And it's funny because this girl, I'm cool with her. She tells me about all the guys she finesses, and it's a game to them. It really is a game to them.
Yep.
A lot of you crypto guys that make money that are younger, that haven't been through that adversity, that experience, you don't understand these fundamentals because you haven't went through the trials and tribulations. Now, am I sitting here going to make fun of guys that pumped the coin and made the money? No. But what I am saying is that guys like you need to work a little bit harder to figure out female nature, understanding the game, because you basically game sharked your way in, which is fine. That's fantastic. You made the money. That's great. But you need to take that same level of making that money, that same effort to a degree, and understand women so that you don't lose the money that you worked to get.
And I would also say you're missing out on high quality women as well. Because if you look like a punk and you've got a bunch of money, you might think, oh, I'm surrounded by beautiful women. I'm having sex with beautiful women. Yeah, beautiful on the outside, not beautiful on the inside. Because you're not going to meet those women who aren't in the finesse game. Those women who are in the finesse market, I'm going to go and finesse some guy. Those aren't the type of women you really want to be dealing with anyway. Because I've met a few, you've met a few, you run into them all the time. They're low quality people. Not low quality women, they're low quality people in general. And the girl who still believes in true love, wants to be swept off her feet, who's actually going to give you a loving, caring relationship, you're not going to run into her just sitting there with all your money being surrounded by these sharks. Yes. You're not going to run into her. So you're missing out on the best side and the better side of women also. So you need to level up.
And you know what's dangerous about this? Guys, you may have all the money, you may have the status, but if you don't know how to vet women properly, they'll destroy you. And you see all the time on the show. Girls come in, yeah, this guy's paying my rent, they're paying for my car, and they don't know I'm cheating on the side. It's like, bro, they'll destroy you. So you guys, you gotta have game, bro. You have to have game.
Yeah,
100%.
Yeah, there's no way around it.
Yeah, and being broke and slowly making your money will teach you game.
Yep.
Because you learn it at all stages. You learn from, you're like, okay, I've got enough money to buy this girl 2 drinks. Let me make the conversation last longer. You go from there till, I'll just invite 30 girls to the club and see what happens. You see it every step of the way up. Like with anything difficult.
Tristan, my head hurts, bro. Yo, can we talk about wrangling? Because this guy here, bro. Can I describe what happened last night?
Yeah. So guys, now we're gonna talk about actually doing what these guys do.
So guys, last night we're here in Romania at the Tate Mansion, right? We're getting ready, about to go out. We don't know what we're gonna walk into, right? So we go to the table, it's set up nicely. We're there. It's just me, Tristan, Myron, Justin, and some maybe 3 girls, right? So we're there chilling, just a little vibe. Music turns on, and more girls come. 3 more girls. Okay, cool. 6 girls. 4 more girls come. Damn, 10 girls. Okay, 5 more girls come. 15 girls. Oh, okay, hold on. Where's the room at the table? 5 more girls come. 20 girls. I'm like, bro, when is this gonna stop? And then it hits me. Hold on a second. Tristan knows all these girls. What's happening here? And it's funny because that environment, bro, I'll be stressed out. I don't know how you did that shit, bro. That wrangle was crazy. Can you tell them what's a wrangle?
Well, a wrangle is an ancient technique, and that's not ancient, but it's something I like to think I kind of developed it, and it started from the days when I used to have my models who worked for me at my house, and me and Andrew used to leave them at home sometimes and go out trying looking for girls on a Friday and Saturday night. And then we realized that the nights when we decided to take all the girls out and we were rolling in a team of 5, 10 girls, it actually went much better. And it was a much better night and you had much more success with new girls. So the wrangle is a technique. of trying to do multiple dates at the same time.
Oh, Lord.
This isn't Miami. This is Eastern Europe. So it's more of a 3-date rule kind of place. Although, some people make exceptions, saying no names.
You were right.
Saying no names over here. But yeah, some people can break the rule. But typically it's a 3-date kind of place. So if you're trying to meet a lot of beautiful women, you're taking them all on, 3 dates each before anything serious happens between you. It's going to be a very time-consuming process. However, on a Friday night, if you just invite 10 women who you all want to take on a date, and you tell them each to bring 2 friends, then your friends have got plenty of girls to talk to. And if you can manage the situation correctly, Aikido through the music and the booze and keep everyone drinking and keep everyone happy, the next morning when you wake up, 10 different girls think, oh, Tristan took me to the club last time. That was good. The art of the wrangle is to get out of it without anyone really knowing they've been wrangled on. So I was with Jay Waller with a Romanian girl I know in Dubai many months ago. And we were explaining what the wrangle was. And afterwards, she was laughing, going, oh, that's so funny. Well, you've never wrangled on me. I said, you remember that pool party last June when I said I have to talk to all the other guests because I'm the host? She was, I got wrangled on. It's like that's the wrangle. So the wrangle is to run multiple dates at exactly the same time, at exactly the same location, and not get busted. And yeah, if you're man enough, and if you're brave enough, you can pull it off. But you got to know how to keep your poker face.
It is a long last art,
Yeah.
people.
We got Iman Ghazi.
Iman Ghazi, 500 pounds, says, keep fighting the good fight, gents. Actually, we're supposed to meet you in Miami, but we're not there right now, brother. So are we going to Dubai? No.
We might go to Dubai.
But I think you're out of town, so we'll text you, bro.
Yeah,
back and
we're gonna link with you and do a show, my friend.
Yeah.
And then you very requested. Jasper saying fresh, you got this.
$500. Tristan, I'm 32, own few investment properties, and transitioning into world of finance. I'm about 2 years away, IMO, into completing my transition. I failed to build a network. I'd like to join the war room to rectify this mistake. My question at this moment in time, I do not have much to offer. How can I be asset to your group?
There are people in the war room who are assets, and there are people in the war room who are certainly learning and have a lot to have a lot to work on. The nature of the war room is not that everyone has to be the most useful person in the world. You just told me that you own a few investment properties and that you're in finance. Cool. Maybe you have more time to speak to the younger guys who are interested in getting their first investment property. There'll be people in there who are younger than you who want to know some things that you know. What I would say is your eligibility to join the war room, whether or not you think you're a good asset. I don't usually have time to hold these kind of conversations. Message Jay Waller on
Instagram. Jay Waller 7.
Message Jay Waller 7 on Instagram, because we have a kind of strict vetting process, but he'll talk to you. He'll see if you have something to offer the war room and if you're eligible. Have that conversation in a long format with him rather than listen to me talk for half an hour about the war room. Right. And I'll see you inside. If he thinks it's a good idea, then he can help you sign up and he can get you approved.
And guys, don't get discouraged, man. If you're not there yet, join HU first, get your money up, and then you can join war room after.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So get in the war room, guys. If you guys want to get in, hit up Justin. His Instagram is below. Just DM him on Instagram and talk to him. There is a vetting process. It's harder to get into, but I mean, how many people are in there? I mean, it's very selective on who they pick.
2,200, and we have a verified millionaire wing of the war room where you have to show somebody who you cannot fool, you cannot finesse, that you have over $1 million in either crypto, cash, or stocks. So we have a verified millionaires room. I think there's 130 millionaires inside of the war room right now.
Bam.
I am not the richest man in the war room. There are some men in the war room who are fucking monstrously rich.
Yeah.
So it's a great network of people, but my Instagram is basically unusable. I have too many messages, too many requests. I know I can't take 99% of them seriously, so I don't open any of them unless you look like unless you got big tits and a fat ass. But so I doubt that you do, though, my friend. So message Justin Waller and he'll be able to help you out.
There you go.
Yeah, guys, his Instagram is below, so check him out. Also, guys, do me a quick favor, like the video. I'm gonna try to limit my time on the mic because my voice sucks.
Yeah, he's recovering.
Fresh. Yeah.
We have some more chats here, and then guys, go follow Tristan Tate on Rumble as well as Instagram, and then also us as well on Instagram. Fresh Prince CEO and Unplug Fit. Talo Adam $50 says the Three Kings. It's always a pleasure gaining high value knowledge from you guys. Question for Mr. Tristan: can Muslims join the war room? I'm Muslim, but see the value of this group. I want to join. I'm also in HU.
Absolutely. Any man can join the war room. We are not politically affiliated. We are not religiously affiliated. We have there are Jews, Christians, Hindus, Muslims, atheists inside of the war room, where there are Democrats, Republicans inside of the war room. We can't be politically affiliated because I think we have over 35 or 40 different nationalities inside of the war room. don't be worried that because you're a Muslim that you're not going to be taken seriously inside of the war room. I mean, that just doesn't make sense. That's not what the war room is all about. What I would say is try to understand what the war room is a little bit better, because if you think that's an issue, maybe you're missing some points on exactly what the organization is. The only reason women can't join the war room is not because it's some misogynistic cult club. It's because me and my brother believe that through us and the other leaders of the war room as men, we know how to teach men and train men to live great lives as men. And I don't think a woman joining, I don't think I have any business, telling her, how to live a great life because I'm not a woman. I'm sure there are women's organizations out there that you can join. That's the only reason women can't join, because I don't feel that I'm in the position to be telling women what to think and what to say and what to do. But yeah, any man can join. But again, talk to Justin Waller and ask him a few more questions about the war room, because I know he's just chilling right now. He's in vacation mode, so he has the time to answer your questions. And I feel like you fail to understand exactly what we are if you think that would be an issue. One of the leaders of the war room is Jewish. Myself, I'm a Christian. One of the other leaders is an atheist. So it's all good, my friend. Yeah.
It's just men coming together, have common goals.
Absolutely.
We got Tisk 907 says, FNF, how was the food that steak looked good? Tristan, what are your thoughts about Cheyenne as a woman? Oh, he means Cheyenne Reynolds from the show Grilling. Have you met her?
No, I've never met her, and I only half watched my brother's episode. What I would say is the one clip that stood out for me, and maybe she's watching this, but I don't give a fuck. The one clip that stood out for me is when she was talking about, because she's successful and she has a podcast and she probably has a bit of money. Well, I'm a high value woman. I'd like trying to compare herself to Andrew, who was saying he was a high value man. What I would say is the woman, I don't think she has an understanding of what a high value woman is. I would say that the value from women comes in scarcity. The fact that no one can a high value woman is a really, really beautiful, smart, well-spoken, 21-year-old virgin who's never been on the arm of another man and is exclusively yours. Yeah. And I'm not saying that's, all women should be that. I'm not saying I would only date a woman who was that. I was saying that is the definition of a high value woman, because men need to build themselves up, whereas women just need to maintain what they already are. So, this woman sitting in the face of someone as smart as my brother, and she won't say what her body count is. I think she made a joke about, oh, my body count was 50 or 100 or something. Talking about having a high body count, not being that particularly attractive. And because she's, I guess, successful on YouTube, saying she's a high value woman, that clip stood out to me. And I thought, this woman has no idea what men want. I don't want a woman who's 36 and, quite, and 7 out of 10 with a body count of 100 because she has a YouTube channel. I'm not interested in that. So, yeah, and by all means, and I'm sure you will find somebody who is interested in that, and good luck to you. You go on enough dates.
I agree. Women always use the male metric of success, and we are not the same at all.
Yeah, we met her, and I'll just say, she's a great woman.
She's cool. Yeah. But her and so many other modern women have that wrong. Like they think, oh, well, I'm a high value woman because I make money.
Yeah.
No.
I've had that. A Romanian girl goes, oh, well, I'm successful and I'm a lawyer and I've been working my whole life and I'm 33. Well, why can't I find a good man? And she was sleeping with me, but I was like, well, I'm not going to commit to you. You're 33. You're fucking working in a law office around a bunch of dudes. Like, you ain't got time to fucking hang out with me and make my coffees and give me massages and shit. And it's not just that, I'm not misogynistic or chauvinistic. I'm just like
realistic.
Yeah, I'm realistic. I'm realistic. You're your early 30s. You've been slaving away in this law office. You're not as hot as you were when you were 21. She didn't understand that a lot of her value has escaped. What she thought was that she'd been building her value over time and she's more valuable than ever. And I was like, well, you're just not. But I think she's
so many girls fall into that trap, man.
Yeah.
So many modern day women.
Yeah, and you know what? And it can happen with men too. I've met some, his name escapes my mind, but he was a model in London, never had any money, but one of those ridiculously handsome fucking guys, but never had any money, never built himself up, never had any game. And he was living very well about 10 years ago because he would hang out in London, just stand around bars, smoking his cigarettes, looking cool. And, women used to take him home, etc. But he, again, had the female mindset of metrics of success.
Bam.
So he thought he was doing very, very well because he was like this pretty boy. He looked very awesome. He had all these
Jamaican
contracts. No, he was not Jamaican. Okay. He was British. And but now his life is terrible because he messaged me on David was his name. Now he's messaged me on Instagram about a year or two ago. Oh man, yeah, since you met, I haven't done much with life because he was in the wrong gender mindset as well. Wow. So it happens to men and women.
We got local. Oh, hold on, real quick.
Three Diglets.
War room sounds like my cup of tea. Shake that hole, my friend. Local food. Focal Sale says Candace Owens just called Kim K a prostitute. Can you make a prostitute a housewife? No. Good luck trying that. Big props to FNF plus Tate Bros.
Tristan, what's your thoughts on Kim Kardashian? Because in the West, obviously she's considered like a goddess, and girls love and admire her. What are your thoughts on that? Should women try to emulate that?
You know, and this is going to sound very arrogant. I really don't know much about her. I really don't know much about her. I know she has a reality TV show that I've never seen with a bunch of her sisters. I know that she made some sex tape, and there's like videos of her like sucking dicks on the internet. And
Shout out to Ray J.
Yeah, and if those are the only two things I know about her, you can guess my opinion on her. I mean, how old is she? She's been around for a while.
She has 3 kids now, I think.
Yeah, she's very old.
She's like
late
older.
30s or 40s.
Yeah, so that's what I mean. So she's got the billions of dollars, etc. And if you're a man in the wrong mindset, you might think she's a high value woman in some way. No 40-year-old woman with 3 kids is a high value woman to me.
No way.
And
No way.
and I hope whoever she is, I hope she lives a happy life and finds her fulfillment in her own way. But as a man in my position who already has, and she's richer than me, I'm not saying she isn't, but as a man in my position who already has his own millions, who's looking for something, I'm not looking for that. I would not date a Kim Kardashian, not at all. I date someone who hasn't made a bunch of sex tapes.
I think she had also a reduction of her body as well. I think her ass, so she looks even worse now. So there you go. Dill Saint, Early Want to Know podcast says, I say the most important aspect of success is game. Game trumps all. What are your thoughts, gentlemen? So you go first, Justin.
You know what? I might disagree with him. I feel like it's one of the most impressive elements of being a man. It's impressive for others to see, because the ability to have 4 or 5 or 6 beautiful women who are all together with you, all exclusive to you, maybe they're hanging out together, talking to each other, and they're cool with each other, that's a very impressive thing, because a lot of men understand how difficult it is to do. But to say game is the most important thing, I don't think it is. I think character and other things certainly trump game, because if you're a good person, you could find 1 or 2 good women, or maybe a good wife, and settle down with her. If you have your whole mindset around, at least I can get laid, I need to go out and have sex. My money's not right, but at least I can go out and have sex. Oh no, my house isn't good. At least I can go out and have sex. I can't take care of my kids or my mom because my finances aren't correct. At least I can go out to have sex. Oh well, I betrayed my friend. I borrowed some money from him. I didn't return it. But at least I can get my dick sucked. No, I massively disagree. I don't think it's the most important thing in life at all.
It's funny because back when I was first in America, I thought that was important, but then I quickly realized that me getting girls doesn't mean shit. Okay, you meet a hot girl, you smash. What's next?
Yeah.
If you're broke, it doesn't really matter.
It's for you, and if you enjoy doing it, I mean, sex is like hunger. It's an itch that you need to scratch, and I don't think it necessarily makes the man. If you are the man, it comes very easily. But just to be able to go out and have sex with girls very easily, if you're not the man, I don't think that makes you anything.
I think we can all agree that you need everything as a man nowadays. Everything.
You got to be complete package.
Yeah.
And guys, from this point forward, since there's 12,000 plus y'all going on 13, we're going to only read 100 and up from this point forward. Fresh will finish these off, and then we'll continue the interview because we still got a lot to cover, especially with the wrangling and wingmanning and all this other stuff. We got some stories to tell you guys.
This part's going to be funny as hell,
Yeah,
bro.
this part's going to be funny.
Myron, I'm not going to lie. I'm impressed by Myron this trip. He showed me out. He destroyed me today, this trip. Repent and obey Jesus, $100 says. Tristan, what do you think about Iranian culture and its political stance in the world? Your beliefs? Love you guys. You've helped me a lot.
I think that Iran is massively demonized by the West, and I think it's very unfair. I think the culture has a lot to be proud of. If you know anything about Iran, it was the only Islamic kingdom that had such a strong cultural identity that during the original spread of Islam, they retained their own language, so they don't speak Arabic; they speak Farsi. So I think, and they're very proud of that fact, and so they should be. And there are so many elements of Iranian or Persian culture that I think if I was an Iranian person, people in America who are rednecks who perhaps don't understand that the world so well will think you're a terrorist or think you're a bad person. I think they're massively demonized and underrated. But yeah, I think Iran has a lot to be proud of, and I believe that if the West didn't sanction it so hard and treat it so harshly or badly because they want to run their own monetary system or they want to have nuclear weapons or whatever it is, then the average Iranian person could live a much better life.
Guys, by the way, I just finished my drink. I feel crazy right now, bro. No cap.
All right, bro. We're out of Coke, but I got plenty of brandy.
Bro, I feel crazy right now, bro.
Repent and obey. $100 goes. Tristan, what do you think about Iran? Oh, no, that one. Sorry.
We got one last one here. Yep. Frankie Baltimore, $50 says, got my first tech job after 2 years as a S guard, living off my car. Then got another remote job. Might get a third. Employ my bro to run that. Goal is to hit $500,000 this year. Guys, embrace the struggle. It's part of the masculine package. Very true.
All right, so we talked about the wrangle. Tristan,
after party.
Yeah. Well, Walt, you could talk about this first.
Oh Lord.
What is a wingman and why is it important? And then we'll turn it to Tristan.
So guys, in this world, right? We have friends, we have colleagues, we have people we hang around, and as a guy, you need for people to understand game, understand what you're about. And most guys nowadays, they either mess up their friends, they sabotage their friends, or they don't know what they think they know what they're doing, but they don't know what they're doing at all. I'm saying that to say that like most guys don't understand how to be a proper wingman. And if you're a wingman, you understand, you know what, how to read the energy. Oh God, here we go, more drinks. How to read the energy, how to understand what level she's at, how to kind of break off an interaction if it's not going well. You gotta understand time and place. So Tristan, I would say, is a very good wingman. Also Myron as well, Justin Waller. We all understand how to maneuver our own women. However, there's some guys out there that don't know what they're doing and they mess up all the time. So I would say, as a guy of status, a guy of any level, you should have friends around you that understand women, understand the game. So
yeah, and the best way to do this is call your friends out on their bullshit. You know, my cousin is a lot younger than me. When he's pulled bullshit moves before, I'm like, bro, this was bullshit. I came home to the club because I came home to the house and I left you with the women. You're supposed to bring them to the after party. You just got a taxi, went to your girlfriend's house. Like, that was a bullshit move. And he did do that once. But he's young and he's learning. But call your friends out on their bullshit, because it's not just about being a wingman with girls. I mean, it certainly is. But essentially, the essence of it is, I want to be the kind of guy that will help my friends achieve their goals. If I am around my friends, anything that they're working on doing, I want to be a asset in that, and I want to be able to make sure, with the utmost of my ability, if I can, that I assist my friend in any way accomplishing his goals. And on Friday and Saturday nights, our goals are wearing, tight dresses and high heels and looking good, and that's just what the goal is, isn't it? So it's being able to just be there and support your friends and support your boys. If you can't run good wingman game, start hanging around with better people, start doing more group approaches, start doing more guys' nights out where you're looking for women. And, if you're the best wingman amongst them, I mean, there are wingman tips all over YouTube and there's dating advice all over the YouTube, but I would say call your friends out on their bad moves. That's the best thing that you could possibly do.
My thing is, listen, if I'm going to eat, all my friends are going to eat. And at the same time, last night was a classical display.
Yeah, well, I bought enough food for everybody, though.
Listen, Tristan showed us, he's a very gracious host. He brought us a lot of food, showed us a great time. And of course, he was the ultimate wingman. But Tristan, but hold on, before we even get there, Myron, please tell him what you did for for the whole group, because you helped everybody out.
All right, again,
because I just want to say, I'm in a relationship. I invited a bunch of women, so all my friends have some girls to talk to. I'm a man of God, and I was in bed reading the Bible by the time you guys were doing all this debaucherous shit. But by all means, to tell these people what they want to hear.
Tristan was so gracious to bring us people we could talk to. And look, at the same time, I'm grateful because I got to understand Romanian women on a deeper level. Go ahead.
All I'm gonna say is he brought a bunch of girls to the club, and guys, I apologize for my voice, but it's Tristan's fault. Put me in this place.
His fault.
Everyone's smoking, and I just was inhaling it. And
I'm smoking right now.
I'm a pussy.
I don't apologize.
Yeah, I'm dying. So,
I'm tipsy, bro.
Long story short, guys, he invited a bunch of girls to the club, and my thing is, the beauty is, and I've talked about this before, when you bring girls to the table, it makes them compete, and when the women are competing, it makes you more attractive because they're fighting for your attention.
Yeah.
And I don't think you guys understand the importance of social proof and how much it really plays into you being a more attractive man in general. So Tristan brings the girls. Obviously, some of these girls may or may not have dated him before. So I'm over here putting out fires, talking to them, but I'm also talking to some girls where I'm like, hey, I'm having a conversation. I had two of my phones. The club was loud, so I'm using Google Translate to talk to some girls. And I pass one phone to this one, I'm DMing another one, and I'm talking to a bunch of girls at the same time. And I'll tell you guys this right now. They love it when you womanize. They were mad. They're like, I just saw you pass your phone to her. You talking to her too? I was like, yes, I am. And they got mad. But hey, that's the game, baby. You know what I'm saying?
And I will say as well, Justin, fucking stellar dude.
Yes.
Myron, stellar dude. Tristan as well. But the key point that night for me was when Myron did the ninja move. He was here, there, everywhere, and he conquered. And I will say,
he shoots, he scores twice in two different goals.
Oh, wait. Listen, man.
Bro, I'm talking about we were playing soccer in the garden.
Yeah. He scored 2 goals. Yeah, by the way, W Myron in the chat.
English. We love football.
He did very well, guys. I'm impressed as well.
Yeah, W.
And if you're on my Instagram, you're my close friends, you would have seen a little bit more.
Yeah, guys, 2 W's. Type 2 W's.
There you go. 2 W's.
Fuck you guys.
Listen, man.
That's why my voice is gone. But
But no, but the super respectful thing about this, because a lot of these women I knew, of course, I wanted to have a fun night at the club, and I invited a bunch of women because what's a club without women?
Yeah.
You know, my girlfriend was sick; she didn't want to come, but I essentially just invited a bunch of girls who I knew, and some of them I knew and you know had things in the past. But the cool thing about you guys is like, oh, she's really hot. Who is she? I said, nah, sorry, bro. Oh no, she's really hot. Who is she? Nah, sorry, bro. Oh, she's really hot. Go for it. You go for it. So yeah, no, you checked every single time, and yeah, no,
that's really important.
No wires were crossed, and it is very, very important to be respectful of you know, even though it's a woman that I may have slept with 2 years ago or 3 years ago who has nothing to do with me anymore. They understand that this is my city, and you know they don't want to give anyone any edge over me. They don't want this girl going, oh yeah, well you know, Tristan, it didn't work out with him, but you know his friend's hot, and I slept with his friend a few years later, and you know, in Tristan's house, they don't want to give anybody any ammunition or leg up over me. It's not necessarily that I care about any ex or any girl I've ever hooked up with, but it's super respectful that they understood that this is my city. I have a reputation to protect. These are girls who I do still speak to and do still know because they came to the club, and they wanted to keep my relationships with everybody, whether it be just friendly and just platonic now, as cool as possible. So all the girls who they were talking to are girls who I'd never met before. You know, these girls had brought friends.
Yeah.
And
let me say the importance of that. I'm really glad you brought that up, Tristan. Guys,
it is important.
When you're out with your guys, always deconflict. When I used to work in law enforcement, right? If like FBI was working a case or DEA or whatever, and they were looking at a target, I would always figure out who they were, like if they were investigating that individual, right? And then I would be like, okay, are you working that case? Whatever. Do you care? Oh no, we don't give a fuck about him anymore. And then I'll do that. Same thing situation here, because you don't want blue on blue, right? So in this situation, every single girl that came in, Tristan, what's her deal? Is she fair game? Yes. All right, cool. I'll talk to her. I would not, and if he said no, that one is off, I wouldn't even talk to her. What I would do instead is I'd go and I'd DHV for Tristan to that girl. And if that girl got mad seeing him talk to other girls, I would be like, listen, let me tell you something. Should I say this on there?
No, yeah, say it. Say it.
Oh, God.
Say it. Some of them are probably watching. Say it anyway. The night's over.
And I wasn't lying.
Over it.
I wasn't lying. One of the girls was mad, okay? And when she walked in, she was beautiful. Of course, Tristan took her. Fuck this guy. But anyway, so I was like, who's that? He's like, oh, that's one of my girls, etc. She's good people, etc. Cool. So she gets mad at the end of the night. And I walk up to her and I say, listen, just so you know, Tristan spoke very highly of you. It said great things about you. I wouldn't be mad if I were you.
Yeah.
You got a good guy by your side.
Yeah.
Oh, who are you? Are you one of his friends? Blah, blah, blah. I was like, I am. But I saw you. I said, you're attractive. And I asked him and he said, no, that's one of my girls. She's one of my favorites.
I did say that.
Ultimate wingman.
Yeah. So, but that's what you have to do. So I identified the girls that he dealt with before. And I went up in DHV. And this is what you have to do for your friends. Because here's the thing, guys. When you brag about yourself, it's not cool. But when your friend brags about you, right, and it's reinforced through what's going on, through that she could verify, makes you more legit.
Even in the car, we were coming home from the event party, right? And Tristan bigged me up. He's like, hey, it's my friend Walter. He's a great guy. And dude, literally that girl was like, wow. He definitely backed you up. Like, now I'm into you even more because that's social proof. Because Tristan's bigging you up. Yeah, he's a guy.
Yeah, no, and that helps. It helps. If you're a loser, don't worry too much about bigging your friends up to girls right now because you know the word of a loser means nothing. But if you are a high value man, and a high status man in Romania, I'm as high status as you could get, and I'm saying the truth, which is I really respect these guys. These guys are very cool. It does a lot. You know, it does a lot for their, you know, for how the woman sees them.
And as a networker, Tristan, I will say, and Andrew have their foot in Romania by connections and being good people. We want to restaurant, cigar lounge. I want you to treat them with respect, show love. Even the club, like what I saw in the club, bro, that night when we ended the table.
Yeah,
I was like, wow. If Tristan wasn't the type of guy he is, that never would happen anywhere else.
Well, actually, you know I know. In fact, I'll admit it right now. I'll tell you exactly what happened. Yeah. So the Matrix has tried to attack me and taken a bunch of my various bank accounts down. So I only had one card on me, and for some reason, the card kept getting rejected. They went, yeah, pay me tomorrow. Like
who does that?
Yeah, but no, because they said, oh, do you have any other cards? And Justin tried to get his card out. I said, listen, these are my friends. They're visiting from out of town. My friends are not using their card. That would embarrass me. And they, you know, Tristan. Yeah, no, I wouldn't. I said that would embarrass me if my friends picked up the bill after I was ordering all the champagne. That would embarrass me. So I don't want my friends to pay. So what can we do? They said, listen, Tristan, just pay me tomorrow. So and that was over $10,000. That was over $10,000 of a bill, and they just let me walk out the club. But in most places in the world, or you can't pay, you can't leave. There's dishes in the back. You better roll up your sleeves.
Tristan Tate brought out champagne and bottles for us nonstop, and it had Fresh and Fit. He played our theme song which is amazing, bro. Thank you, my friend.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? On air, bro. Thank you, bro.
Don't worry, man. Don't worry. It's a
That was
pleasure.
dope, man.
Open his
pleasure,
home to
bro.
us. It's been a great time. Brought lovely ladies, etc. And
It's only
you gotta
just
pay it
started,
back.
man.
Yeah.
And I'm
Only
saying
just
it now. We're taking Tate brothers to Barbados. Showing them a good ass time. You're coming too, nigga. No escape. So I'm saying it right now on air. There you go.
Yeah, but guys, the importance of being a good wing is very important because you need to set up your friends to win. Matter of fact, I didn't do this hat trick, as you guys would say, until I made sure that Tristan was good and Justin was good and got what they needed. Then I was like, okay, now I'll focus on myself. And that sometimes it's got to be, I'm gonna focus on the guys. Fuck me getting
Yeah,
laid. I
absolutely.
don't care.
And I would absolutely do that, especially more when it's my own city. I'm happy to forego anyway. I wasn't interested in getting laid last night anyway. I was just trying to take you guys out and show you the city. I'm a man of God, as we all know. But
Man
We
of
can't
God.
verify anything.
Man of God
We
here,
can't
yeah.
verify anything.
exactly. You can't verify anything. You know,
All I saw him do was go upstairs a few times.
Exactly. So yeah, I was resting between Bible verses, and my But yeah, when it's my city and I'm showing my friends around, it's more important that my friends have a good time. I mean, I could have put my own name on the wall like I always do. Tristan Tate's in the house, but in fact, when I walked in, that was on the wall. The Tate brothers would have come into
Yeah.
the house.
And they play your song.
Yeah, and they play my
You
song.
played Push It to the Limit, by the way,
Push
guys.
It
If
to
you guys
the
are wondering,
Limit.
and everyone's like, what the fuck?
But yeah, that was your night. It was my city. You know,
Sure.
you get the clout, you get your name on the wall, and people were coming over who knew the Fresh and Fit podcast. I saw a
Yeah.
few talking to you. I mean, security were looking at those people pretty, ready to punch them in the face just in case, because security watched my back as well in the clubs. But yeah, and people when they saw that on the wall started coming over and trying to talk to you. But
Bro,
security kept
they
most
play
of them.
NBA Youngboy. I was like, bro, this is crazy. In Romania, they love us, bro.
Yeah, no, shout out to them, man. Shout out to them. Fresh, you got some of these?
Yes. So, Tristan, as a man of God, can you please tell us how should a guy properly maintain his girl, maybe a rotation or two, successfully? Because obviously speaking, you can get a girl. How do you actually keep her in your frame in your life?
What did you do in the past?
Yeah, in the past.
Yeah, in
Or
the
even
past before I
In the
found
past.
God.
Yes.
Well, I had a very simple ethos to this, and my idea, I think, is it should be universally used and welcomed to anybody who's trying to live any kind of life. The question you need to ask yourself before you go into any of this is what are you doing this for? What are you doing this for? Are you doing it to make yourself happy? Because that's the way you should be living your life. You are number one, and you should be, living a life that you find fulfilling and you find enjoyable. So a lot of people are like, oh no, I've got four, some heathens I know are like, oh, I've got 4 or 5 girlfriends. And, is there some sort of system or spreadsheet and see them on different days? And how do I organize this? I said, no, you don't try to organize anything. You don't try to necessarily, I need to keep this girl somehow. What can I do? Because the truth is, if you want to keep her, you naturally will. And trying to organize it is just going to end up in a situation where you are doing things you don't want to do some of the time. And you should never be in that kind of situation. I once lost a girl. She left me after about 2 years. I took her virginity. Nice girl. I met her when she was about 19 years of age. This is a while back. And she broke up with me after 2 years. And her argument was, I've been with you 2 years. I gave you my virginity and you've seen me like 20, 25 times in 2 years. I was like, look, baby, I'm a busy man. And when she walked out, I was like, oh, shit, lost another one. Oh, man. I should have kept her. And then I looked at myself in the mirror and I thought, if I wanted to keep her, then I would have just kept her. I would have seen her more than 20 times in 2 years, wouldn't I? So there is no system to it. There is no trick to it. Just simply, do the things that you want to do. And if a woman is special enough and a woman is nice enough and a woman is lovely enough, you will naturally find that she's the one who sticks around because you've invested the time in speaking to her. So don't try to overthink it.
Absolutely.
Ignore that. I know that is fine.
Fresh, go on. Can you?
Okay, so I guess what I want to ask next then, we spoke a couple of times with some friends, and the topic of sex map came up.
The sex map.
Can you tell them what a sex map is?
Ooh, the sex map. Do I divulge my secrets online? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. This is the Fresh and Fit podcast. So, if you want to be play.
Tristan, before you even say this, guys, before Tristan gives us secrets, like the video,
Like the
sub
video.
to the channel,
Yeah,
go on
yeah.
Rumble, join HU because this is going to be a fire
Yeah.
drop. And guys, if you use this technique, I guarantee you'll be thankful for Tristan Tate for the rest of your life.
Say speech on Rumble, guys.
So back before I
Please.
found God, when I was a playboy, I wasn't just a playboy. I was an international playboy. If you stay in the same city all the time and you meet a bunch of beautiful women, you can have a great time and you don't have to be too organized about your systems. But when I was an international playboy back in the day, before I settled down, I needed a way to organize my life. Because what would happen is I'd be talking to a girl in New York City, for example, and she was a 10 out of 10. And she'd be like, oh, yeah, no, if you're ever in New York, let me know. And 7 months later, I'd find myself in New York, and I'm like, who was that girl? Who was that girl who I was speaking to? I don't know. I can't remember her Instagram. I can't remember her name. Fuck it, And I'd tag myself in New York, and then by the time I left, she'd hit me up, saying, hey, you were in New York, and you didn't tell me like you said you would. I was like, no, I forgot. How did I let that one slip through my fingers? So there are applications for tracking your favorite places, hotels, bars, restaurants. There's one called My Places. And I invented a system that I called the Sex Map. And the Sex Map was a very wonderful system because every time I had a conversation with a girl in any city, I talked to a girl in, I don't know, Tokyo, Seoul, South Korea, or Johannesburg, wherever this girl was, if we would have the conversation that ended with, yeah, if you're ever in my city, I'd love you to take me on a date. If that was ever said in a conversation, I'd say, okay, I'd open up the map app, I'd place a pin, I'd place her name and her Instagram on that pin, and I'd have her on the map. That way, obviously I'll change my ways, but when I turned up in a new city, when I would get to Paris last year, I open up Paris on my map, I'd see this girl, I'd open up the Instagram account because it's already saved in there. I'd look at the last conversation, and it was me saying to her, yeah, when I'm in Paris, I'm going to send you a message, I'm going to take you out. And then I say, hey, I'm in Paris. And they're like, oh, you remembered me because you came to Paris. I'm like, of course, baby. Every time I come to Paris, every time I think of Paris, you're the first thing that comes to mind. Doesn't matter if you forgot her name. So, when you have a map with hundreds of different women who you've interacted with and spoken to worldwide, and you've had the conversation that you're going to hook up with them or meet up with them or take them out on a date or take them for a drink when you get to their city, that is the most organized and professional way of doing it. And I have yet to meet anyone with a system that good for being an international networker.
Well, I will say this, Tristan, you are incorrect. There's one person I know with the same mindset as you, and that's Dora the Explorer. Her map, she never gets lost, my friend.
Romeo,
I've done my share of exploring, bro.
Romeo Buchanan, $100 goes, my advice to my brothers, never set limitations on growth. Sometimes you have to go through the meat grinder in order to become something better.
No sacrifice and have self-accountability as a man for your life. Thank you, FNF. Shout out to Romeo, Don DeMarco.
Yeah, my friend. Thank you very much.
Thank you, brother.
So, Tristan, tell us the pluses and negatives of being a networker.
Ooh, a networker. Let's just say playboy. Let's just say it. Let's just say, look, I've lived all sorts of different lives. I've been serious about women at certain times if I met that special girl. And, when I'm single, I live a bit of an eclectic lifestyle and I like to meet beautiful women. I like to spend time with them. I don't think there's any advantage or disadvantage to it. I don't think there's any advantage or disadvantage to being in a serious relationship like maybe I am now, or to being a kind of guy who has a bunch of different women in his phone and in his bed every single night. I think it's just, again, it's all about your own personal life experience and how you wish to live your life. I feel like as long as you have a healthy mix of everything while you're single, do play the field, because while you're playing the field, you're going to find the more high quality woman to actually have that relationship with. If I wasn't such a playboy, I would never have met the wonderful women who I did settle down with in my life. And if it makes you happy, and you're not hurting anybody else, then do it. I mean, there are ways of engaging in this kind of lifestyle and behavior where you can be damaging to people. I've broken a few hearts myself, of course. When I'm talking about actually doing harm to people, if you're doing no harm to people, I think it's a wonderful way to live. And I feel like a lot of men, if you were to ask any honest 15, 16, 17-year-old boy, how do you want to live in 10 years? They're going to say, big house, fast car, beautiful woman, or lots of beautiful women.
Yeah.
That's an honest answer. And I feel like society is trying now to convince men that they don't want that, trying to convince men that they shouldn't want that. And I think it's very healthy and very normal. And let me tell you something. I'm going to flip the argument on its head. If it wasn't very healthy and very normal, then people like us wouldn't be able to live the lives that we live. Women like hanging out with us. Women like going to bed with us. Women like hitting the club with us. Women like having dinner with us. Women like going on dates with us. So we bring
30 of them plus.
Exactly. So we bring a lot of joy into the world. If it's a Friday night, a woman would love nothing more than to be, bought flowers and picked up in a nice car and taken to a beautiful restaurant and a beautiful dinner. And whether or not you make love or have sex afterwards is nothing to do with it. We're bringing a lot of joy to the world by taking these women out and treating women very kindly and nicely. And if you benefit from it because you like having sex with beautiful women, oh my God, what a haram thing to say. It's just normal and it's healthy and it's happy. So yeah, if it makes you happy, do it. If it's not hurting anyone else.
And I want to say this too, because we were at the nightclub yesterday, and I remember I pulled you aside, Tristan, and I said, look at how many girls are here versus everyone else's table.
Yeah.
The women pick.
Yeah, the women
This
do
is a
pay.
sexual marketplace.
And you said that is a perfect visual representation of the sexual marketplace worldwide. The most high value men in the club are at the best table in the club, right at the front, near the DJ, with the biggest table in the club, the most champagne in the club, and surprise, surprise, all the baddies.
Yep.
So
if you look at it, right, all we're doing is providing an atmosphere where they can have fun and have a great time, and then they choose who they want to be with. That's pretty much it.
yeah,
Tristan, why does mainstream society work so hard to shame guys for doing what they want to do, their natural instinct? But we don't shame women for being hypergamous and picking the best guys. Why?
You know what? I think it's just destroying the masculinity of men. And I don't want to make this podcast too political.
Please go.
But destroying
Whatever you want to say.
Destroying the masculinity of men is very important if you want to have a society where you can easily control everybody. Yeah. I think it's the reason why a certain brother of mine was deleted everywhere on social media, because he tries to tell young men to live in a way that's very true to male nature and very masculine, but also isn't necessarily what the people in charge of the world want. They want malleable slaves paying their taxes, stuck in a sexist marriage with a wife who they can't divorce because they'll lose their house, with kids who don't respect them. And if they leave their wife, they have no access to their children. The laws are very skewed in a way to keep men slaving away and working and paying their taxes to provide for women who don't care about them, because that's the most beneficial way to run an economy. It really is. They don't want guys out here, making money through programs like Hustlers University, making side incomes, not driving the steam engines, digging the coal, but living good lives and hanging around with a bunch of beautiful girls. They don't want that because it's not necessarily bad. It's not necessarily good for their agenda. I believe it's good for society as a whole, because I believe women are happier. I believe men are happier. I believe that men can have a better selection of women, and they could find the high value ones if they meet enough and date enough. I believe that women now have access to obviously the most high value men, and they're much happier. Did you see a single frown at my table last night? Did you see a single scowl? No, everyone had a big smile painted on their face. So everyone within this lifestyle is very happy. And to convince people that it's somehow bad is just a way of creating more slaves for the Matrix. That's it. Because they don't want people being happy. They don't want people living lives that are truly fulfilling. Because then who's going to flip the burgers? Who's going to mine the coal?
It's bad for the economy. Guys like us are bad for the economy.
Yeah,
I've always said that.
And actually, we help even further. So I don't know if you guys think about this, but like, even that environment, we might find girls that are into us, but guess what? They have friends. So we can have our friends with their friends. Call us Hitch if you want to, but we add joy to people's lives, men and women. There you go.
There are certain Romanian women who, have now met, and not you guys, of course not you guys, but there are certain Romanian women who would never have been introduced to, handsome Caribbean and Sudanese millionaires and Louisiana cowboy millionaires, and they wouldn't have access to these men if I didn't create this lifestyle right here in Romania. And I'm sure they all went home very, very happy. So, and just speculation.
And I just want to say this as well, man. Even in Miami, shout out to Stinko, man. I'm pretty sure he's left many times as a happy man after coming on the podcast and being a part of the blind dates. Shout out to you, Sneeko.
So there's a song out there from Future that we use on our show, Low Life from Future. Even though
are we gonna say this?
We're not low lives. I put on the list,
bro. Say it. And in fact, and in the club after a few drinks, I said, "Yeah, mention that."
Yeah. The lyric is, yeah, go ahead.
Did you catch me cheating? Never. No, just kidding. That's not the lyric. The lyric is,
got my baby mama on my side, bitch kissing.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was very funny because I mentioned that song because I know it's on your podcast. And when I say all the people around me are happy, so one of the ladies who was at our table last night, very, very beautiful woman,
elegant,
by the way.
Elegant.
Very elegant, very classical, kind of beautiful woman is the mother of my daughter. And she was there. I took her on a night out. She works very hard raising the baby. Her mother's got the kid for a week. So I decided to take her out to the nightclub, and another girl who I had, let's call it a previous association with, saw her. And the first thing they do is run up to each other and start hugging each other. Oh my God, it's good to see you. And yeah, they were making out at one point, but I had my eyes covered. Can't look at that kind of stuff anymore. But yeah, so like literally that's a song that a rapper made that lyric up because that's a cool kind of impressive kind of image. And I was just like, oh, by the way, this is happening at the table. Like also, this is also happening right here, right now. So yeah, that was pretty cool.
And I want to make this very clear too, because if you guys know, right, Future doesn't have the best reputation, but Tristan is doing this. Have you seen girls come out and try to put him on blast?
No.
Oh, wait.
Women don't.
He's doing the same thing that these rappers are doing. Let that sink in for a second, guys. Really slow this down. He's doing the same thing that these rappers are doing that are getting exposed or treated like shit. There's more incentivization right now to go ahead and put Tristan on blast than ever before.
Yeah.
Where the girls coming out.
Not a single woman has ever done
He's
it.
doing the same thing.
And what I would say about the rappers, if you listen to American rap music, and I'm going to go off on a bit of a tangent. Our friend Jay Waller used to listen to a lot of country music, and he had to curate his playlist and delete a bunch of country songs that he used to love and he used to grow up with because they're very, very simpy. People don't understand how simpy a lot of rap music is.
It is
written by all these, badasses, and you think, oh, they're surrounded by women, they got money. It's simpy. It's simpy. There's that song Or Nah. You know that song? Are you really about your money or not? There's like, are you going to work it for these hundreds? Like the words they use are just like, okay, you're going to come and dance and kiss this girl, but I'm going to pay you. I'm going to pay you money. Like, and I listen to these lyrics. I'm like, what? These are the alphas. These are the cool guys. I'm trying to think of some of the lyrics, but I don't actually listen to this kind of music very much. But it's all about, I will pay you. There's a T-Pain line. She don't really like girls, but a stack will make her kiss her. Oh, sorry, there are girls kissing on my table anyway. There's no stacks being, hey, if you kiss this girl, I'll give you some money. That's actually very simpy if you break it down. And if you're a rap fan or a music fan, try to curate your music and not listen to the bullshit that programs you the wrong way.
Dude, there's artists that have lyrics where they talk about literally just like buying chicks. I'm like, bro, that's crazy.
Are you really about your money, girl, or not? It's like, what hanging out with me makes you money? Why on earth are you're fucking famous? Why are you paying women to hang out with you and have
We don't do that.
It's weird.
No. And the reason why I brought that up, Tristan, is because so you're getting the same perks of being a rapper, getting like, girls kissing in front of you, whatever. Of course you close your eyes because you're a man of God.
Of course.
Or in my case, a man of Allah. And then somewhat every now and then. And you have not had women come out and say crazy things about you, whatever. No. And it's because you treat the women really well.
Yes.
You're a gentleman. And I've said this before. Chivalry in today's day and age is earned for women, and you treat your women very well.
Yes.
Can you tell a little bit about Gentleman Game? You and Justin broke this down, but give the people a little bit of a breakdown of it,
Yeah, essentially. Well, essentially, I believe that when you're dating women, I tend to date women younger than me, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. But I'm 34 years old. Everyone likes women in their early 20s. And
statistically speaking, that's a fact.
It is a fact.
Yes,
and I'm not going to sit here and pretend that it's not. And I like dating women who are 34.
It's proven by fact for any feminist.
So I've actually likened it to exploring imagine you're an explorer and you're exploring a brand new virgin rainforest that no one has ever seen before. I don't believe it's my duty to be carving my name on the trees, spilling oil everywhere, chopping down the trees. I don't want to do any damage to the environments that I go to. I want to experience them, take all the enjoyment I can out of them, and leave. A lot of the time when I leave women or women leave me, they're in a much better position mindset wise than they ever were if they'd never met a man like me. So Gentleman Game isn't just about, you get laid more if you're nice to women. I genuinely believe that it's my duty as a man. Like if I'm going to date a woman, I don't want to burn down the forest. I don't want to spill oil all over the beaches. I want that environment to be healthy and happy. While when she walks back out into the world, she doesn't have any scars on her heart. She's not going to give the next man she gets with some bullshit. Yeah. She's going to get a husband one day and not be fucking mad at him because, I destroyed her back when she was 19, 20, 21 years old. So I think that it's more of a moral obligation. This exactly the same as if I meet young men who I become friends with. And Sneako's a lot younger than you guys. I'm sure that when he's hanging out with you, you are not. If he stopped talking to you tomorrow or moved to the other side of the world, for example, he wouldn't leave worse off with a less healthy attitude. And that's why I always give Sneako shit when I'm on his stream. I advise him. I tell him things. No, Sneako, not all suits are the same. Upgrade your fucking wardrobe because I believe it's my duty. Yeah. So Gentleman Game isn't just about you get more women if you're nice. I believe it is your moral duty and obligation just to be nice to people, because why on earth would you want to walk through the world creating that much bad karma, upsetting the people that you've been with, upsetting the women you've made love to? I mean, why? I don't understand who would get any kind of thrill out of something like that.
Listen, whenever I'm with women, I make sure they have a good experience. Not because I need to do that. It's because, once again, if they have a good experience, I guarantee you, they're going to talk about you after the fact. And if they ever have to leave you for whatever reason, no negative energy, just good vibes. You know what? He wasn't a bad guy at all. I actually like him. So that's a good imprint.
And again, if it ever becomes massively beneficial to talk shit about you and drag your name through the dirt, they're like, oh, you know what? Well, Tristan, I may not be with him anymore, but he treated me very well. Oh, there are newspapers offering money to talk shit. I'm not going to do that because Tristan treated me with respect.
Yo, name one girl that talk bad about me. Hardly ever.
I got a bunch that talk about me. I'm fixing that though, or trying to. And I'm
not saying I've never upset a woman because like that's just stupid. But you try not to.
Yeah.
And women have upset me too.
Yeah, it happens to all of us. Speaking of which, you want to tell the engagement story?
Oh, the engagement story. Am I going to tell this? So
wait, how many likes are we at? Hold on. How many likes are we
Yeah, you guys might not.
Yeah, because
yeah,
this is like private information.
yeah.
Getting
What you guys are getting
on
this
some
now.
level.
This is
Need
really
you guys to like the
this is
video.
real exclusive Fresh and Fit stuff. So
We're at 7.8K likes. We need at least 9K likes.
Yeah, to tell the story, we need 9K.
At
Yeah.
least, guys.
We need
So-
9K.
So I'm not going to tell the story yet, but yeah, I proposed once, and my reasoning was very strange. My reason for proposing was very strange and very unusual, and it kind of blew you guys' minds because I don't think you've ever heard that before.
Yeah.
Bro.
You've never heard that move before. But I did actually propose to a woman once. But I'll tell you more about that if we get to the 9K.
Proposal
get us to
Aikido.
9K if you guys
Yeah.
want to hear it. And then, real quick, Tristan, because I already know some people are probably going to hear that story and be like, "Oh, Tristan's a simp. What do you mean treating ladies like gentlemen?" Can you please differentiate the difference between a
Yes.
simp and a gentleman?
Oh yeah, no, I have a perfect definition of a simp. I have a perfect definition that I'm surprised it hasn't caught on and fewer people don't use. It is an unfair exchange of value between a man and a woman.
Bam.
It is an unfair exchange of value. If I stand at a nice bar or restaurant and every girl that tries to walk in the door, I hold the door open for her, hoping that I'm going to get some pussy at the end of the night, I am simping. If I take a girl out on a date and I open the car door for her and I open the door and buy her a flower and being a gentleman, that is not an unfair exchange of value, because I'm not saying I'm definitely going to have sex with her at the end of the night and sex is the only value I'm going to get from a woman. But, you know, the fact that so when people talk about paying for dates, I always pay for dates. Of course, I don't let women pay for
Agreed.
dates because I believe women pay in their own way. I believe that I'm dressed really, really nice right now. I'm wearing my suit. It took me 5 minutes to get ready. So I've made my money and I have money in my bank account. So if I'm going to take a girl out to a nice dinner, I understand that I've invested in the date because I've invested financially. I'm paying money to make the date happen. But she's invested certainly maybe as much time as it took me to make the money. She's, shaved her legs, done her makeup, plucked her eyebrows, fucking made sure she's, looking fresh, looking clean, getting dressed, getting ready, the perfumes, all the crap that women do, 3, 4, 5 hours. And I'm going to sit there and at the end of it be like, well, I think you should pay for half these drinks. Like, no, it's an unfair value exchange is what simping is. And I will never be a simp because the value I extract from women is always equal to the value that I put in. I will never be a simp. So yeah, the fact that I take women out and I'm nice to them and I treat them well. And if you want to laugh at me for that, saying I'm simping while you're in your bed, jerking off at the end of the night, while these beautiful women who I have bought flowers for and taken all nice dinners are in my bedroom, you can laugh, bro. Like, I don't really give a fuck.
I think guys that don't get girls don't understand you can't be a dickhead 24/7. You have to be on some level appreciative, on the same level, a gentleman sometimes when they deserve it. So my thing is like Tristan is just doing what he does because he wants to go there first of all. She's just adding as a +1. It's what it is. It's not simping, guys. It's just living life and getting girls.
Well, I once said this. I once booked very recently. I booked a mega yacht in Croatia. It cost me $250,000 for the week. Now there were a bunch of women there who I just invited on the yacht trip. Now I didn't think, I really want to have sex with this girl, so I'm going to book a $250,000 yacht and try and get her there so I can have sex with her. Yeah. I booked the yacht. I was with my friends. We already had our set group of people going. I had like 7 or 8 extra bedrooms, and I thought, you know what? It was the Rumble launch event. A lot of the footage is available on Rumble. I thought, you know what? This girl's really cool. I met her once when I was in Poland. I'm going to invite her and her friends because why would I leave that bedroom empty? Like, it didn't make any sense. I'm not paying anything extra to have these women with me. It's not like I booked the yacht for the goal of getting women. I wanted to be on the yacht anyway. I wanted to be at that table last night. And I could have stood there with you guys and spent $10,000 in champagne as a bunch of dudes who don't drink champagne and look like a loser. But I'm spending that money anyway to entertain my friends. So yeah, bring the women along. Why would I not do that?
Byproduct of success, like we always say.
And again, the value I extracted last night, even though, I went to bed by myself reading the Bible, the value I extracted last night, everybody in the club looking at me, all those beautiful women around me, all the stories, all the videos, it adds to your reputation and it makes you cool. And I don't care who says that it doesn't. So I get value from those women showing.
And when it comes to networking as well, what Justin did last night was definitely what I want to say. 1, a presentation, 1, a show, but 3, most of all, he added value to the club. And that by itself, guys, people look up to him. Oh, who was that person over there? Before you know it, club owner walks over, meets Tristan. I mean, they're friends, of course, but like that right there, status, guys.
Yeah, I mean, I was famous in Romania way before I blew up on the internet, way before, and everyone in this country knows me. But that's a big part of it.
Yeah. Now, Tristan, me and you had a pretty deep discussion on this yesterday when it comes to the future of dating and virtual sex toys, stuff like that, because you came from the adult industry, transitioned doing more content creation, etc., building businesses. So we talked about how it's transitioning from cam girls to OnlyFans to virtual reality. Where do you foresee guys in the future getting their rocks off, essentially?
Yeah, I believe it's a very slippery slope, and this is not something that anybody should explore. I once famously wrote that I'd rather catch my 16-year-old son smoking than jerking off to pornography, because I believe it ruins. It one gives you very, very unrealistic expectations of sex and of women. If you work as a plumber and you go into some housewife's home, she ain't gonna look like the girls in the videos, and she ain't gonna be sucking your dick. And if she tries, you probably don't want her to. Yeah, I think the virtual reality coming in porn is going to destroy far more men. But again, it's just going to make men happier with not being participants in the sexual marketplace. Women are you can invent virtual reality sex for men and women, and almost no women will ever use it. And women are still going to want to go out and meet handsome, smart, kind gentlemen, go to dinners, make love to them, get into real bedrooms. And men are going to be much, much happier to just put on their fucking headset, not do the work, not go to the gym, not make any money, put on their VR headset, make some people in California who run the technology very, very rich. And it's going to force more men out of the sexual marketplace and make them much more happy for not participating. And I can only say that is a very good thing for the men at the top. And I will argue it's a very good thing for women, because you don't fucking want these guys. I give advice to women all the time. I say, listen, go to your man's phone and check how extensive his, don't check if he's messaging other women. If he's messaging other women and he's getting laid and he's got another girl on the side, that's he's a man who's in demand and who can get other women. Don't check that. Go to his internet browsing history. Check how heavy he is into porn. Check if he's heavily paying money to girls on OnlyFans. Even back when I used to run my little webcam operation or my OnlyFans management agency, which I had for a very short time, I was always so paranoid when I'd open up OnlyFans to check money and figures of my own business in public. I'd be like, I don't want anyone to see that I'm on fucking OnlyFans, because that's humiliating and that's embarrassing. Girls, check your man's phone for this stuff. Don't check your man's phone to see if he's texting other women, because if he's really heavily invested in pornography and adult entertainment, it's probably not a man you want to be with. So good, let the VR come. Let the VR come. Women are going to be happier because these men are going to fucking price themselves. They're going to be so entertained playing with their new toys that they're not going to be trying to approach real women and tricking them into sexual relationships. And for men at the top, there's going to be a lot more fruit to pick.
More girls for us.
I think the two parties that are going to suffer the most from this are the average women and women that want higher status guys. The people that are going to win are going to be the dudes that are at the top.
Yeah,
are going to win. And the women, what's going to happen is the guys that are at the top, they're going to continue to play the field, get as much sex as they can. The girls that want relationships, they're going to struggle, because dudes are going to be in, jerk-induced coma, jerk-off-induced coma,
yeah,
and VU, right, Virtual University, like trying to fucking smash some girls, not Hustlers University, of course. They're going to be doing Virtual University, trying to get their rocks off, and they're going to take L. And this is what's going to be, because women always pick the best guys anyway.
Yeah.
So all this is going to do is highlight that. The guys get all the girls, and then all the women are going to struggle for relationships. And I see this being way more pronounced in the next 10 years.
Yeah, I completely agree. And this was in talks even back when I used to run my studio. This VR stuff has been in the works for a very, very long time. Yeah. And a lot of people don't want to do the work. They want an easy way out. And it's sad for me to see a lot of younger men who maybe aren't as interested in women as the older generation. And it's because of porn, and it's because of things like this. They get their gratification one way, and they think that's acceptable, but it just isn't, because you're not, actually living the fulfilling life that you could be living. And it makes me very sad, but I'm happy. So welcome. Everyone makes their own choices. You can't help everybody.
Yeah, no, absolutely. How many likes are we at, by the way, guys? We got to get the likes up if you guys want to hear this story.
8.7K with 300 likes away. I mean, this is a legendary story, guys. So
you guys want to hear this story? I need you guys to like the goddamn video right now. Fresh, can you use some of these chats real quick?
Cool. Let's see what we got here. I think we're caught up, actually. Are we?
No, I think we had some from before. And guys, thank you so much for the donations. We really appreciate it. Tristan, can you tell them a little bit about HU?
Yeah, HU. As I said, you need to sign up on the link below on this description. And in fact, there's a lot more information if you click that link, and you'll be able to read a lot more about what it is. But you have to learn lessons from everybody you can in life. I've learned a lot of things about streaming and YouTube and social media, even from getting to know you guys. Networking is everything, and networking is key. I had a situation maybe 12 years ago when my dad had played chess with a very wealthy man in England. Played chess enough with him that he called him his friend. And this guy liked my dad, and he lived in London, and he was always down at the casino. I remember me and my brother spending my last ever money to get a train down to London to hang out at the casino with this guy. Andrew was his name. And just so I could squeeze any information I could out of him about how to make money, how to be rich, because I didn't have shit at the time. That's how hard it was before tools like the Internet Hustles University kicked in. And I had to hang around with this guy, and I enjoyed his company. I'm not saying I was trying to use him, but I'd hang around with him and have nonchalant, blasé conversations about lots and lots of different things, and not make it clear that I was there just to extract value and to try and learn from him, because that puts high value people off. Whereas, Hustles University, it's a cheat code, because you can get in there and just start asking millionaires straight up, hi, my name is this. That's it. That's all of the introduction you need. And you can start asking them questions about, okay, why this investment? Why this stock? Why this? Why that? Why do you run your Amazon shops this way? And you could straight extract value from millionaires. And it's a very fair and balanced system where it's a very low amount of money that anybody who's trying to make it in the world, anybody can afford to get inside. And, the millionaires also get value from it as well. So it's a very good relationship. It's a fair exchange of value. So you want to get inside Hustles University if you want to learn from millionaires and learn about making money.
At my level, I joined as well. And I got to say this. When I first came to America, I think I told you the story as well. I went to Starbucks. I was studying YouTube, marketing, Instagram. And I would sit there, I would study the Starbucks with my cookie crumble. And I would look to see who's parking in the front. And this guy would always show up in his Lamborghini. Hot girl in the front seat, cool guy. I was like, damn, you know what? I can hit him right now, or I can ask him, how'd he do it? What'd I do? Ask him how he did it. Hey, man, sorry to bother you. I'm just curious. What do you do? He told me I do real estate. I'm an investor. I live off my properties, and I do what I want. I was like, are you telling me I can get property, live off the property, and not have to work? That's crazy. So I did some research, and nowadays, what's happening is we're investors in real estate, and that pays us monthly. But if I didn't ask a question and I just hate it, nothing will happen. So having HU, bro, you get all that content for other people as well. I've made it. It's priceless.
Yeah, it is a wonderful program.
It's fire.
So we hit the 9K.
Yeah,
so the people want to hear the story.
Shout out to all in chat.
Yeah, it's an interesting story. So pretty much I was sitting around having some drinks with these guys back before he lost his voice, and he asked me, so you ever been engaged? Would you ever propose to a woman? I said, well, I actually did once. He goes, okay, well, how did it go? What happened to the wedding? Did you ever get married? And it's a very, very unusual story, but I think I don't know if I made her life better or worse, or if I made mine better or worse, but it was a very unusual play, I decided. So it was a very complicated story. So what happened was this. When I was 19, there was this really beautiful girl. She lived in Slovakia. I dated her a bit at 19. I simply did not have the finance to continue the relationship because I couldn't afford to go to her town and see her. So many years later, as I come up in the world, I get in touch with a bunch of people who I used to know. This girl's still very beautiful. She's still stunning. She's living in Dubai. She's working as a cabin crew. Before anyone asks. So in Dubai, if they're working as cabin crew or in a retail store, good. If they're there influencing, be careful. So this girl's working as cabin crew in Dubai. And I meet her when I went there for the first arm surgery. And, I take her out for dinner. And that's it. Nothing happens between us. And I found myself missing her. I think, oh, man, I can't wait to go back and see that girl again. She's a really wonderful girl. And I just knew from the get-go that it was never going to work out. I mean, she's now had fucking 10 years since I last saw her. She was still a very good-looking girl, but I knew it wasn't the kind of girl I was probably going to end up marrying or getting out or ending up being with for a very long time. So I think both of us knew, me especially, that whatever relationship we formed was going to be temporary. So knowing that it was going to be temporary, and there's nothing wrong with getting into something that you know is going to be temporary if you're going to enjoy it at the time, I thought, how can I squeeze the most juice out of this and make it as beautiful and as memorable as possible? Because it's probably going to end in tears one way or another. Because I don't live in Dubai. She's cabin crew. She's always flying all around the world. She's never going to come to Romania. She doesn't speak the language here. So I'm drinking one night with a few friends of mine. Shout out to Boris. Shout out to Shooter. And I walk past on my way back from the bathroom this jewelry store inside of this hotel. So this was I hadn't slept with this girl in 10 years. I hadn't had sex with this girl in over 10 years. And this was our second date. I'd only just got back. It was my first day there. And I saw her and I'd been kissing her and it was all the old feelings were coming back. So shit, I think, you know what? Fuck it. So I buy this engagement ring. It cost me $3,000 something. And before anyone starts saying simp, and I'm going to say again, fair exchange of value, I got my fucking share of value. But, and also not bragging, $3,000 to me is like, it's zero. Like it's a third of the price of a night out. So think about it that way. So I buy this beautiful diamond ring. And we're sitting there with all my friends drinking champagne, reminiscing about old times. We're sitting on the beach, and I pull out this ring and I ask her to marry me. The waitress goes crazy. Everyone goes crazy. My friends are shocked. They have no idea what I'm doing. They've never seen this kind of move before. And the look on her face, her eyes lit up, and she said, "You know, Tristan, you were always the one for me. Yes, I will marry you." I put the ring on her finger. Now, it ended in tears, as I knew it always would. But let me tell you something. That night is a night. That was her peak happiness in her whole 30 years or 31 years that she's been alive. I don't know how old she is exactly. I should know that if I've been engaged to her, but I don't. But let me tell you, that night was her peak happiness. I brought so much joy into her life. She had never been so happy. Now, the sex that we had that night and for the week and the 10, 12 days that the engagement lasted after that, the places I took her, wearing that ring proudly on her finger, it was going to last 2 weeks anyway, but it was a magical 12 weeks. I was writing a love story IRL, and it was so beautiful, and nobody has ever got the value out of that girl that I got. And I don't believe anyone has ever made her happier than I made her in those 12, 13 days. Anyway, it ended badly. Anyway, I don't live in Dubai, so shit happens. But yeah, I did propose, and she did say yes, and I was engaged. And apparently she told me she threw the ring away, but whatever. She was heartbroken at the end of it. But I was heartbroken too. I was really enjoying it. It was a very pleasant fiction to be living in. So yeah, I have been engaged. I have proposed before. And I feel like a lot of women in the world use the engagement ring and the marriage as a bait for men and a way to trap men and maybe to extract value from men. Oh, well, we can't do this until we get married, or if you put a ring on my finger, then maybe I'll do this. And I just feel like, I've taken that weapon, that same tool,
yeah,
and I used it to my advantage. now, but here's the thing, as I said, as sad as she was when it ended, that sadness was always coming because it was going to be a temporary relationship. But I'm telling you, her happiness peaked. That was probably the happiest week she's ever had in her entire life. And it was absolutely wonderful. And no man is ever going to make love to that woman and get the same commitment and value out of her in the bedroom. Just the way that she introduced me, the way I introduced her to my friends, the smile that was constantly painted on her face. No one is ever going to get that kind of value out of that same girl ever again. And if you're watching, baby, look, look, you really are a wonderful, wonderful girl. And it may have worked out but I took a shot in the dark, and, I didn't really think it was going to work, and it didn't. But I had a wonderful week with you, baby. So, if you're listening to this, I hope that the smile and the feelings and the happiness I saw on your face was legit and real. I know it was. And I'm glad I could do that for you.
I'll tell you this, bro. Don DeMarco for that. I'll tell you this. She'll never forget you, bro. That's one thing I can say. She'll never forget you, bro.
Yeah, that is how you alpha widow a girl right there.
Help you Tate in the chat.
Yeah, man. Holy shit. Give us W's in the chat, guys.
I'm dropping
City Boy stuff.
I'm dropping exclusives tonight. This is fresh and fit, man. I haven't spoken about that ever. But yeah, this is fresh and fit.
Oh man.
We got a Life Machine says,
go ahead.
Take my money. Thanks for the game. We'll tip more when we level up. Hope to meet you guys one day. Shout out to you, Life Machine.
Tristan, you recently met Dan Blazarian.
Yeah.
And your caption was fantastic. I'm a king in my own right, but today I'm not the king at this table.
Yeah, I think I said I'm the king at any table I sit at, but not today, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah. And very, very humble quote. And, and I'll say this real quick too. Dan was, unwarrantedly attacked. People making a whole bunch of allegations about him that weren't true.
Yeah.
And it's ridiculous. And honestly, he's kind of, in a similar position to you and your brother.
And I know how that feels now. I know how that feels.
Yeah.
And it's a big lesson in life because I heard a lot of the negative press. I've always looked up. I've always respected Dan because what he does is I think he paints a very healthy picture of you can live this way and there's nothing wrong with it. And it's the same kind of thing I do, but on a much bigger scale with a much bigger following. And he really does paint, I think, a very healthy picture of if you wish to live this way and have a bunch of beautiful women and a bunch of money, it is possible if you put the work in. And the guy's he's what, 41 now. He's in really, really great shape. He's very sharp, very smart, very good to talk to. I would never meet someone like that and talk publicly about what we spoke about, the conversations we had. That's all classified, and I'll hold that close to my heart. It was a very good day, and I'll be hanging out with him again in the future. But let me just say, I feel stupid although I didn't believe necessarily any rumors about someone I hadn't met, for even entertaining these ideas, for even, oh, he's broke. Like
lies.
Like how on earth is he broke? There's no such thing as living the life he's lived. He's got, I saw his jet when I landed at the airport in Geneva. I landed on my jet that I chartered, and I saw his black jet with his logos and shit all over it. Like, there's no universe you're broke.
Yeah.
If you have that plane to fly on, you can't fake it. So for even entertaining or listening to some of these rumors or watching a YouTuber, even for 5 minutes, so yeah, Dan Bilzerian is really broke. I felt stupid for ever having entertained those ideas in my mind when I met him. Because yeah, he's the real deal. And he's definitely not respected enough for actually how smart he is, how sharp he is, how nice he is, how charming he is, how friendly he is. I mean, little things like I walked into his house, he didn't, you know, he just respects you as a man. He didn't ask to search me for wires or anything. He didn't fucking, you know, and in his position, I'd be more paranoid than him. Yeah. And he took us at face value, and I had a wonderful night drinking with him and hanging out with him, drinking some of his lovely Ignite tequila. And yeah, it was just, he's just a super, super cool dude. That's all I could say about him.
I think he's
super cool, and he's legit as fuck. Everything about him is completely legit. And again, like with my situation with the yacht, although I may have financed a certain situation that was very fun that women wanted to show up at, or it's the same with the club yesterday. I financed a certain situation that was very fun that women wanted to turn up at, but I don't actually physically pay the women any money. Listen, Dan is he does not pay women any money. He creates very, very fun situations that women want to turn up at, and it can, even if he spends $1 million throwing a party, it is not simping, because simping is an unfair exchange in value, and he is now internationally renowned and known and famous worldwide for being the best playboy in the world. Oh, he didn't get his value from those girls. He didn't get his value for booking a flight and buying some champagne and chartering a yacht. He didn't get his value because he fucking did.
Yeah,
no simping there.
You got so fresh.
No, I was just gonna say, I think it's important to not judge someone off of videos, but actually, when you meet them in person, give them a chance to show the person. Let them show you who they are, rather than just make an assumption. Because even if you're interested, like, I had an idea, you know what? These guys are legit, but I don't know how far it is.
Yeah.
Coming here is like, whoa, like, legit, you guys live in the lifestyle. This is your full life. There's no cap here. It's like, wow. But if I say, you know what, damn, watch a video on you guys, they're whatever, I would have believed that. But coming here, meeting a person, is like, yo, take the blinders off. You know what? If I never met a person, I can't talk about them later. Yeah, you can't.
And if you're in a position with somebody who you're never going to meet, just don't try to judge them. Just don't judge them. Just don't think about them too much. Yeah. Because if you're never going to meet somebody, this is why when you're asking me about Kim Kardashian, I said, I don't really know who she is. Like, it's like, why would I give a fuck? Like, I don't make a judgment positively or negative in any real way, because I'm never going to really meet that person. So try not to get too heavily invested in fantasy scenarios about people who don't know you exist.
There's a crusade on traditionally masculine men, from these crazy matrix motherfuckers. And Dan was the first person that they went after about 1 or 2 years ago, saying that he stole money from investors, which was not true.
Not true. That he lost a lot of money himself, actually, when that happened.
Yeah,
he lost a lot of his own money. Millions.
But they do everything in their power to try to go and attack guys like us. They call us fake alpha males. They say that we're womanizers, we're toxic, we're misogynists, whatever. They made the whole false allegation on you with the trafficking stuff, which we've debunked a million times. Not true. And it's wild the lengths people will go to tarnish your name because of jealousy, hate, or whatever it may be. And it comes from, they wish they can be us. They hate us because they ain't us. The thing is, I've always said it, Dan Bilzerian built his brand, built that image, built that huge Instagram following because men want bitches, guns, cars, a certain lifestyle.
Money,
and we sit here and we lie to ourselves and say, no, that's not healthy. That's not what men should want. That's not cool. But no one bats a fucking eye when women say, I want a man that's 6 feet tall. I want a man that could pay for dates. I want a guy that's going to be a gentleman, etc. It is.
And women should want that.
Yeah. And that's okay. But my thing is, what men want shouldn't be ostracized and looked at as demonic. Wild. So you're gonna say some truth.
No, I was good. That's exactly what you said. Men should, when women say, "Oh, I want a man who's this, who's got money, who's gonna take me to fun places," as a man, all we're doing is mirroring women's wishes.
Yes,
I'm like, I want to be the man that could take women on nice dates and cool places and make them like me. I'm just wanting to give women what they want. So who's really anti-woman?
And let me say this real quick too. This is an uncomfortable truth I've learned since I've become a multimillionaire myself. Guys, there's certain demographics of women that you're not going to touch unless you make a certain amount of money. It doesn't matter how much fucking game you got. It doesn't matter how cool you are, your personality, how charming you are. You need to be at a certain socioeconomic status for the girls to even give you a fucking
Yeah.
chance.
Well, even to be in the same room as them.
Environment.
So you have to look at the world like this. Imagine the world is 3 rooms. In one room is all the girls who are below a 5 out of 10. In one room are the 5s to the 8s. In one room is the 9s and the 10s. Even though you don't have to pay the woman to actually have sex with her or pay the woman for access to her, to get into those rooms costs money.
Bam.
And I'm talking about the club we were at last night.
Yes.
You know, that big check to have all those women around, to be able to afford all those drinks. You know, the clubs, the destinations. Oh, Mykonos is hot at this time of year. It's a good place at this time of year. There's loads of women in Mykonos, you know, and then places are seasonal. I got to be here. I got to be in Tulum, Mexico. That's where the girls are. The world does work that way. You can actually break it down as in rooms with price tags. The baddies are in that room, and you don't have to. You're actually giving money to men to get access to the women. The men own the nightclubs. The men own the airlines. The men own the hotels. You're paying men to get access to the women because the women have been conditioned to want to be in certain environments. So yes, you do need the money. And people say, "Oh yeah, you give women money, or you need money to get women." You need money to get access to the women because the women are not hanging out at the gas station in your town
or Tinder.
Yeah, that's not where the baddies are. They're not on Tinder. That's not where they are. So yeah, you do need the money.
And not only do you need the access, right, to get the money, guys, that's just to play the game. Because here's the uncomfortable truth I'm going to tell you guys. This happens in Miami all the time. There's guys that have the money that you have that are willing to pay the girls.
Yeah, I know.
So they're going to sit there and just simp and pay for her, all this other stuff. So you got to have another, not only do you got to get into the game by having the money, now you got to actually have the game so that you don't get finessed.
Yeah.
So it's extremely competitive. Some girls aren't even going to look your way unless you have a certain socioeconomic status. You think Dan has these bad chicks around them? Like, he creates an environment that's attractive. The girls come in. That's what it takes, guys.
Yeah.
You know, and you can't, and then you guys wonder, oh, why are girls the way that they are, etc. It's very difficult for you to compete in the first place, let alone compete, get the girl, retain the girl with guys like Tristan, with guys like Dan, etc. Because there's guys out there, not us, of course, that will sit there and simp on a girl, whatever. But when you do that, what do I always say? You know, short-term gratification typically comes with long-term problems.
Yeah.
You pay for that girl, you simp in the beginning, you get her.
Yeah.
She don't respect you.
No,
And guys, just so you know, there's a competition going on. There's a game being played here. If you're not in the winner circle, you're gonna lose. It's just how it is. And like, look, being 100% honest here, if you want to get bad chicks, you got to be the guy in those environments. And it is what it is. You could cry about it, you get mad about it. My thing is, look, if you want to get those bad girls that you actually want, which I think is kind of like a game you want to play here, you got to work on yourself, of course, become that guy, and be the best version of yourself. And you want to do that through like mindset, fitness, and money. So it is what it is, guys. Don't complain. Just become part of, you know, the winner circle.
Shout out to our guy 98, by the way, $50. He's in the war room as well,
Yeah,
guys.
he is.
Very successful guy.
Yeah.
High value conversation that's a realist. Shout out Myron Fresh and Tristan for the sauce. And then we got here
Tyler Crum.
Yeah, he says HU apprentice here. Take Tristan's advice and join.
It is the best investment that I've made so far in my life. I joined 5 months ago with no skills, and now I'm on track to making $10K a month in a couple of months. Shout out to FNF and the Tate's top G's. Shout out to you, bro.
There you go, man. Guys are
Hate
making
you
money out
guys.
here.
Top G.
Top G.
Yeah.
It was funny. I had a joke with the t-shirt. I forgot what it was. Never mind. I won't say it on air.
Stupid.
What?
Stupid bun for you, my friend. So, all right. So, and real quick, guys, we're gonna get the merch, by the way, Tristan, because
Yeah,
I know
merch.
some people were commenting about the hoodies and stuff like that.
Go to cobratate.com and there's a link to the merch. Go to cobratate.com.
Oh, I know it now. So a girl felt the hoodie, right? And I asked her, do you know what material this is? She's like, no, what is it? I'm like, top G material. What?
You fucking.
Did that work?
Yeah, I got it.
It worked out.
So,
somewhat.
Tristan, you recently, you know, came out that you have a daughter, and you know you're a family man.
Yeah.
What's it like being a
knowing-
dad?
Yeah, what's it like being a dad?
That's crazy, bro.
It's wonderful. It's absolutely wonderful. I plan to have more children. I think that being truly honest, living only for yourself and not taking the time and the financial commitment it takes and the time commitment it takes to procreate, I think would be an ultimately very unhappy life. I would like to have a very large number of children, and I was actually inspired by Steve Jobs and Elon Musk, and for different reasons. And this is a perspective that's very unique to me. Me and my brother are creating an empire. I believe that collectively, certainly, we'll reach billionaire status. Well, collective billion before I'm 40 years old. I really do believe that it is on that track.
Yeah.
And I looked at what happened to Steve Jobs, who created Apple. He created this big company. The people running it were not his family members. The people running it were not his children. He had this board of directors of people who were like careerists, people who came up, through other careers who weren't necessarily loyal to him. They were loyal to the company, and he got voted out of his own company. And I remember this story, and I just think, you know what? If the Tate empire is run by the Tate children, I'm never going to be in that position, because I believe that shared blood is the best. It's the best way of securing loyalty. So as a man who's building an empire, I don't see how I could justify continuing with my life if I was not trying to procreate and have children. But yeah, having a daughter and being a father it's absolutely wonderful experience.
So
I love seeing my daughter.
what advice would you give to your daughter when she gets of age with this new crazy world that we're in? We're in the Matrix clown world with, women acting crazy. Playboys are going to continue to rise up. It's going to be very competitive. What are you going to tell her?
Very easy. Very, very easy question for someone like me. You have to understand, first of all, that women cannot be tamed with traditional values alone. I know Muslim brothers, I know Mormons, I know Christians who are broke, who run these really strict Christian households, these really strict Islamic households, these really strict Mormon households. And they believe that their religious values and them being such a strict parent is going to keep their daughter away from degenerate behavior, as though Mia Khalifa doesn't come from an Islamic family.
Yeah.
But the way I always phrase it is this. Women are going to want that Gucci purse. When they get to 16, 17, 18 years of age, they're going to want those shoes. They're going to want those lubes. They're going to want the jewelry. And who's going to give it to them? So become a financially successful man yourself for the sake of your daughters. Because one way or another, she's getting that Gucci purse, my friend. Whether it's OnlyFans, webcam, prostitution, escorting, sugar daddies, or her actual father who loves her and takes care of her. So people who think they're going to hold their household together with traditional values and religious values alone when you're flat broke, believe me, if your daughter's pretty, she ain't going to be broke for long, my friend. And she isn't getting the money from you, and she's not getting it for free either. I will tell my daughter this. My daughter's going to be raised very differently to my sons. My sons are going to have to work hard for everything they do. I'm going to take care of my daughter within reason. The shoes, the Gucci purse, the nice car. She wants a little Mini Cooper or a Fiat 500 to drive around in. Cool. I'm going to take care of you because you are a member of my family. I am the man in charge of this family, and I am going to provide for you. When you are looking at other men in the world, I'm not going to lock her in the house. I'm not going to say don't date. I'm going to just inform her that when you're looking for other men in the world, you have to understand that when you pass on from this family, that's the man who's going to potentially be taking care of you. So what kind of character does that man have? What kind of setup does that man have? What kind of life does that man have? And if she says, oh, well, this, marijuana smoking, guitar playing, busking musician, I'm really in love with him and I'm going to run away with him. Cool. Have fun staying poor. I'm cutting you off. Give me the Fiat back. Give me those shoes back. Cool. That's the man you chose. You go walk around the fucking beaches with him and watching him busk and fucking beg for money, playing his fucking guitar and smoke marijuana with him. That's fine. I'm not going to say you can't date that man. I'm going to say you are a member of this family. And when you leave this family to go and hook up with some dude, that's the guy who's going to take care of you after me. So how well does this guy measure up to dad? Not very well. We'll fucking make a better choice.
Wow. Well said.
Yeah. Now, and I know the people want to know this. Would you be okay with your daughter dating a retired playboy?
Like a man yourself? Like me or you? Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. And I will say I dated, there's a very wonderful girl in Romania that I know who has a bunch of brothers and a father who are of that way. And her brothers spoke to me once. And they said, look, we know what you're like because we're like you. Just, make sure she's not the side chick. So I'd be very happy with my daughter dating a man like me if she was the main chick.
I agree.
If my daughter was like, I have a husband who, maybe, sleeps with girls on the side or whatever, but he takes care of me. He's a millionaire. He loves me. He's going to marry me one day. I'd be like, good. You procreate and have a family and have children with that man. Don't be a side chick. Yeah. I wouldn't be happy with her being a side chick to a man like me. Or just a nobody who didn't matter to a man like me, but I could easily advise her how to spot things like that.
Can you break this down real quick? Because some people think main chick can't be plural. Can you break this down?
Main chick can be plural. First of all, I'm going to break down what side chick means because most of you people out there have no idea what side chick means.
Let's break it down for the people.
A lot of guys who want to be playboys will be out there being like, yeah, I got my main chick, I got these 4 side chicks. You don't have fucking side chicks, my friend. You don't know what side chick is. You've got hoes. Hoes are something entirely different. Hoes don't belong to you. Hoes are collective property. They belong to the streets.
Community.
They're community owned. They're collectively owned. So if you have a main chick or 2 main chicks, because you can, women who you really care about, who you're trying to build a relationship with, trying to have a family with, you can have 2 main chicks by all means. But a side chick is not less important. It may be less important to you, but you aren't less important to her than you are to your main chicks. A side chick is a woman who is completely loyal to you, completely in love with you, does not talk to other men, does not flirt with other men, does not do shit that you're uncomfortable with, does not do things that you are unaware of. It's a real loving, full-blown relationship. Hoes are the girls you invite to the clubs and the bars some nights. You know, you fuck them sometimes, you ignore them sometimes. They're in Dubai next week. You know, they're on someone else's boat, you know, the week after that. Just because you fuck her sometimes does not make her a side chick. She's everybody's, you know? So understand the distinction between main chick, side chick, and hoe. A side chick and a main chick is exactly the same woman to you. It's just about how you see them, how serious you are about them. It's how you view them that differentiates between main and side chick. But a lot of people out there have a bunch of hoes and they're like, yeah, I got these side chicks. They ain't yours, bro. They ain't yours. The math doesn't add up. There's no way so many men could have so many side chicks, you know, and still pull off the numbers they do. These hoes are everybody's.
Yeah. So in other words,
She belongs to the
they belong to the
street.
streets, my
Yeah,
friends.
yeah.
So you got to kick them. It's and here's the other thing too, guys wife up hoes, then get mad that the girl's a hoe. It's your job to identify her for being a hoe and
Yeah.
kicking her back to the streets. If you get finessed, it's your fault for getting finessed.
It is.
And shout out to everyone that joined HU. I see you guys joining HU with the link. Shout out to y'all, man. I think we had over like 20 signups already. So shout out to y'all.
Keep it up.
Tristan, some things happened in the past with you, Andrew. And I don't know if you want to say it on air now, but like something happened that changed the game in terms of like that whole, you know, allegation. You want to say it now or no?
You know what? In 2 weeks, I'll have the official paperwork.
Got it.
In 2 weeks, I'll have the official paperwork. But I will say this. The terminology that is now spreading around in rumor circles, the terminology that's being used is wrong. People are now saying the charges have been dropped. Oh, the charges have been dropped. No, wrong, because no charges were ever made.
Exactly.
No arrests were ever made. Let me just say that the investigation is coming to a close. That's what's actually happening. So when it all becomes official, when my lawyer makes a statement, when the papers go around, when I start all the lawsuits against all the people who started this shit, yeah, it's not a matter of the charges being dropped because we were never charged. No one was ever arrested in the investigation. Me and Andrew were not even suspects in the investigation. We were only witnesses. We provided a witness statement to the bullshit that went down, and the investigation is coming to a close. That is the correct terminology. I don't want to hear anyone say charges are dropped when this happens.
Fucking haters.
Don DeMarco?
Damn right there, my friends.
Yo, we got a few diglets in the chat as well.
Go ahead, Fresh.
$300. I'm highly successful, but I'm a little fearful of showing my lifestyle on socials because I feel like merch, it will only bring attention I don't want from haters and past enemies.
My bad.
It's kind of nice doing whatever you want and no one knows who you are. What are the benefits besides women of showing yourself? That's a very good question.
I feel that it shows a lot of security as a man in who you are. I feel like if you're living this way, there are certain elements of your personality that you need to work on. I'm not saying you have to show off, but I would like to say to you as a man that you should be comfortable showing off should you choose. It shouldn't be a choice based on, oh, I'm not safe and I'm not this and I'm not that. How well can you fight? How well can you shoot? Do you stay strapped? Do you stay ready? Do you have good friends around you? Do you have people you can trust? Do you have a good security team? Because, you know, if you're actually the man that you say that you are, why don't you work on all of these elements of your own personal character? So should you feel that you want to show off or dress well or wear a $200,000 watch, that you can make that choice. I think that you're missing something in your mindset because you don't feel you could, even if you wanted to. That's my advice to him.
Well said.
Now, Tristan, you guys were famous in Romania before, and I've said this before too, which is why I debunked the stupid trafficking things. Like, these guys are known here.
Yeah.
You guys don't think the Romanian FBI would love to take these guys down if they could?
Of course.
They would have been done it if they were actually doing that stuff, which is, you know, asinine in that own self.
Right.
But you guys were famous here before. Now you guys are worldwide, international, blew up. What's it been like? And give us the pluses and the negatives of the meteoric rise.
The negatives is I lost my anonymity, so I can no longer just walk around in public unguarded or without my brother, or not because I'm necessarily in any danger, just because it's annoying. It's annoying, and a lot of people, this age of social media and everyone trying to chase clout has changed people to become a lot less respectful. You know, hey, can I get a picture? Can I get a picture? Click. Yeah. And one time this happened, I was like, yeah, cool, nice to meet you. And by the time I was holding my hand out, he was walking off with his phone in his hand. He's like, no interest. People are so disrespectful. In fact, what's actually funny and super ironic is the one place where I can walk around and not really be bothered and no one talk to me and no one try to annoy me is Romania, because this is where people know that I live. They also know not to fuck with me, and they've known who I am for a very long time.
Right.
And also, yeah, the Romanian people don't work that way. If someone's rich or important or well known here in Romania, people don't fucking swarm him and start trying to shake his hand and ask him for photos. That's just not the way it works over here. So here my life is continue as normal. So I've lost my anonymity, but also I've had the opportunity to meet a lot of awesome, cool people. Me and you have been friends before I really blew up, but like hanging out with Dan the other week. Awesome. Patrick Bet David, very cool guy. I met him in Spain. The opportunities that are arising from getting to know other high level people who are now aware of me. It's not that I've necessarily raised my value to the point where they're taking me seriously. It's just I'm now on their radar. Yeah. That has to be the biggest advantage. Women, I've always had women. I've always had women. So that's not an advantage at all. I mean, nothing has changed women wise. I've always had wonderful women around me, and a lot of the women who were at my table last night I've known for years.
And you've had the supercars for how long again, Tristan?
I bought my first ever supercar was way before I even started in the webcam game. Me and my brother bought a $60,000 Aston Martin back when I was 23.
Sheesh.
Andrew was 24. Wow. We were running a company that made television advertising. We were partners in a company. We pulled off a very, very big deal. We pulled our money together and we bought our first supercar at a very young age. And I don't think Instagram was even invented back then. This is 11 years ago now.
Yeah. Tristan, you took enough in some of your cars. What is your favorite car and why?
My favorite car is my Aston Martin Vanquish S Ultimate. It is one of my slowest cars. It's the one I took you out in the other day. I love the way it sounds. I love the way it feels. I love how comfortable it is. I love that I feel like James Bond when I drive it. And people are like, oh, you think you're James Bond driving your Aston? It's like, listen, I wear Savile Row tailored suits. I can get any woman I please. I could drink like a fucking machine. I could shoot. I could fight. And I drive an Aston. I am James Bond. Fuck you. How am I not like James Bond? Oh, I think he's James Bond. Go fuck yourself. I am James Bond. So, but not the new one. Not the new one. The James Bond from the books, not the movies. Fuck the movies. They've all gone soy now.
It's changed.
Yeah.
Tristan, tell the people 2 or 3 things that they may or may not know about you, that the public doesn't know, that you would be okay with sharing.
Jesus, caught me off guard. One thing you've noticed, even since being here, is I have a very, very, I have a hugely vast knowledge and interest of history, world politics. I mean, I'm a very worldly person. I speak Polish quite well. My Slovak is quite good. My Romanian is, I not as good as it should be because I live in this country, but I don't like to speak it in public. I'm a very knowledgeable person. I love learning about things. When I drive around, I listen to audiobooks. I don't, physical books kill too much time. I listen to audiobooks when I drive around. Exactly. And I'm a massive history nerd, and I love everything about history. So if you start talking to me about fucking the Roman Empire, Napoleon, and World War II, I'll go on for hours and hours and hours. I find that immensely interesting. I guess that's one thing people don't know about me. What else do people not know about me?
You have a very strong grasp on geopolitics as well.
Yeah.
You had some very...
But I don't like to discuss those things on podcasts, so people don't know it. They never see that side of me. We were talking about some recent conflicts going on in the world. And I mean, you especially, I'm sorry to shit on anyone as an American, to know all the stuff you did. But even when you're talking to me about your country, and I was like, South Sudan, I know the separation of South Sudan and North Sudan, how they're racially different, etc. And you were like, very few people just know these things. Very few people know these things. Like I was saying about the Iranian earlier, but I think of their people, and they retained their language after the Islamic kingdoms, that took most of the Middle East. I just know things, and I find it very interesting, and I believe it makes you a more interesting person to know things. So I don't do it to show off, and I don't do it to try to look smart. I think I am smart, and I just really find it interesting myself. I learn these things from me.
I think I just want to add to that point as well. Another trait that you may not want to share is that you're likable, which means you know to play the room, you know to be yourself, and at the same time, you know to add value to people that are around you, which is pretty dope.
Yeah. I mean, people think that myself and my brother are scarier than we are. We're certainly scary if you say the wrong thing to us or if you fuck with us in any way. But a lot of people are very nervous meeting us for the first time because they think I'm going to be hostile or in some way. No, I'm always nice to everybody. Things people don't know about me.
I will add this though for the geopolitics. We're having a pretty deep discussion on this, and I want to say this real quick because I don't think people understand this. We've done a segment on our show where we ask girls, hey, name other countries outside the United States, and girls say stupid shit like Cancun, Hawaii, whatever, and it really brought things into perspective. And these are college educated women, which is the scary part. that a lot of Americans, I'm just going to say it, are fucking stupid. A lot of them are fucking stupid. And me and you were having discussions on, you know, some very controversial topics on conflicts going on. And it was crazy how a lot of Americans don't know this stuff.
They have no idea.
You know, most Americans, you know, don't even have a passport or travel or understand what's going on or don't know. They don't go to alternative media sources to get their news. They watch CNN and Fox and they think fuck Russia and all this other stuff, which we won't get into that in today's topic.
Yeah.
But all I'm going to say is you need to peel the layers back a little bit and do some analyzing. Most Americans are grossly unaware of what the hell is really going on in the world.
Yeah, and I played the joke. There was a Romanian girl in my house, you know, and English is her fourth language. I said, name 3 countries. I think she said Finland, Ireland, and Turkey.
Yeah.
I said, why those? And it's the first 3 that came to my head.
Yeah.
And you know, and people, what's funny is the Americans have this arrogance where they think their educational system is so fucking good. Oh, I have a university education and I'm an American. And like Romanians know a lot more than a lot of university educated Americans. So yeah, it is very arrogant on the American.
And for the haters out there that might say this guy just hates Americans, blah blah blah.
I don't.
You are.
I am an American. Yeah, so I'm allowed to talk shit about my own country. And that's why I love talking shit about issues where people can't come at me and say that I'm just discriminating against anybody. So
because you were born in the United States.
Yeah.
Real quick, can you tell us about the impact? We hear all the time about your father's impact on Andrew.
Yeah.
Can we talk about your father's impact on you?
It will be exactly the same stuff. He was a very unique man, and he was a very unique individual, and he was a father by being an example. I believe that I could be a good father to 10,000 sons, and women will look at me like, you had 10,000 sons, you couldn't be a great father. I'd be like, yes, I could, because they would all know who I am. They would all know what I'm up to, and I'd be a shining example for them for how to be a man. I wouldn't necessarily have to change diapers. I wouldn't necessarily have to be at the dinner table, but they would know, yeah, my dad is out there doing his shit and my dad is the fucking man. And one day I want to be like my dad. So yeah, being a hero to your sons is, I think, a lot more important than just being present in their lives. I think, the modern day wants men at home literally changing diapers. Guess how many diapers I've changed in my life? My daughter's almost 2. Zero. Yeah, you guessed it. That's not my job. My job is to make sure there's a roof over the head, roof over everyone's head, make sure there's food on the table, make sure that I'm out there living as an example to my children. So my father was the same. My father was that kind of guy, and yeah, I couldn't have wished for anyone better in my life.
And you know, and former chess master, I can see where the high IQ comes from. You and your brother. You guys are very experienced, interesting people that are able to, and it gets me mad because I watch the interviews with your brother, and he has to preface his comments sometimes when he uses an analogy with "don't get triggered," which in itself shows the crazy state of affairs that we're in.
Yes, I know.
Where I have to tell you a fact, you don't like the fact, then I have to give you an analogy. Before I give you the analogy to preface that fact, I have to warn you to not get triggered. He did this on the what's that podcast with the fucking Barstool Sports?
Yeah, with that guy,
Portnoy, whatever his name is,
Dave Portnoy,
and he used the car analogy with women and everything else like that. And he prefaced it, and they still got angry. And this goes to show the ridiculous world that we're in. And it comes back to chess. People don't understand that you have to make a move.
Yeah,
is it the best move? No, but that move typically is going to have to be based and rooted in logic to some degree.
Yes, exactly.
Or else you will lose.
Exactly. I think one of the things he was saying about, teaching young women that, there are bad people out there and that crime exists. And no matter how much we say don't steal, people are still going to steal. So there's nothing wrong with saying to my daughter, his niece, don't walk around at night, is a much healthier attitude than saying, don't worry, men are the problem. You should be able to walk around naked as much as you like. And if men does something to you, they're wrong.
Stupid.
Yeah, that's true. But that's not the nature of the world. So let's prepare people properly and not live in this fucking fantasy land. And then that was twisted into, he said that women are responsible if they get assaulted or attacked. No, that's not what was said. So yeah, the world has gone insane, and you have to warn people not to be triggered before speaking just facts.
As a trained fighter who literally can cause havoc upon somebody, you did it for years, and your body's a byproduct of it with injuries. How important is it for women to understand that you can't fight a man? Self-defense.
No, and like I said, and I'm speaking as a father now, and I'm going to make that point because they're going to be like, oh, he'd change if he has a daughter. I am not going to teach my girl to fight. There is no female self-defense. I don't care what woman you are, and obviously there's going to be some retard in the chat who's going to send some picture of some Samoan fucking 260-pound weightlifter. Oh well, you couldn't tackle her. I wouldn't want to. So no one would want to. But yeah, maybe. Okay, there are very, 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 very rare exceptions to this. But typically, any average woman would never be able to fight off a man my size, trained or untrained. So I'm not going to teach my daughter self-defense. And I'm not going to send her to self-defense classes because self-defense classes pollute the mind. They give women this false sense of security. Oh, if a man grabs me, I'll just do this and this. But they learn defenses to like, what if he grabs you here? What if he grabs you here? What if he fucking hits you 10 times in the face as hard as he can until you lose your fucking eye and your fucking and your eye socket is cracked and your jaw's hanging off? Oh, then when he tries to rape you, what are you going to do? Like that's how violent people are.
Yeah.
And no, I'm not going to give my daughter the false sense of security to think that she can defend herself from a male attacker. I'm going to tell her, do not put yourself in a position where you are alone with a man who can attack you. Don't ever do that. That's self-defense. That's true that's self-awareness, and it's much more important than teaching them how to throw a punch.
There's a saying that says prevention is better than cure. So if you can avoid that scenario,
it's 100% true.
You win.
And I want to
you're victim blaming, Fresh.
Shout out to Dave Ratha goes $50. Hey, Tristan, I'm 19, joined the War Room 3 weeks ago, and currently creating an OnlyFans agency. Shout out to you, my friend.
Oh, good luck, man.
Yeah. And guys, again, jump in with Jay Waller if you want to go ahead and get in the War Room. He's going to help you out with that
because he's on vacation. He's got the time to talk to you.
Yeah.
And we have a ranch hater. $50 says, "Hey guys, I'm 19 and I feel lost. I don't know who I am, but I do know that I want to be a high value man. I push all my friends away. Yeah, I don't know where I'm going. What should I do to be high value? I'm willing to do whatever it takes, but I need advice."
You know what? I believe, unfortunately, and I don't want to come at this young man too hard, I believe that everybody knows what to do already. This podcast is called Fresh and Fit. You know, work on your intellect, work on your fitness. If you don't know what to do, you should be in fantastic shape. You should be in the gym all the time. Because I didn't know what to do at 19. I was kickboxing.
Yeah.
I was kickboxing for money. I was getting paid 200 pounds, 300 pounds per fight, but I was obviously getting myself in amazing shape. And that gave me the value I needed to meet important people, to meet beautiful women. And in fact, there's this funny saying from Scarface. They say, first you get the money, then you get the power, then you get the woman.
Yes.
I say, as a former kickboxing champion who had beautiful girlfriends, which made him the money, first I got the power, then I got the women, then I got the money. So mine is the opposite story.
Yeah.
Mine's a bit mixed up. But yeah, I think you know what to do to be a high value man. Yeah, I feel like every young man does. Like, you should be in absolutely amazing shape if you don't know what else to do. And if you're not in amazing shape, it should be because you're working on something else. You're working on a project of your own. There's lots of ways to learn how to make money. Again, Hustlers University. I'm not saying get inside the war room. Maybe you're not ready for that yet. You know, talk to Jay Waller and see if you are. But for $49, you could be talking to millionaires, you know, all the time. Watching podcasts like this is certainly beneficial. Yeah. But if you go out, if after this you start watching cat videos on YouTube, turn that shit off. Don't waste your time, man. You're 19. This is the advantage you have in life now. You get less tired than everyone. You heal faster than anyone. You need to sleep less than anyone. You've got unlimited energy, bro. Trust me, I'm 34. I remember what it was like, you know? Yeah. So, go out and attack the world every morning, man. Fucking a 2-hour workout, get inside HU, spend 8 hours learning information on how to make money, get your finances up, then meet better friends and network. I think everyone knows what to do already, you know, and there's so many tools available. I don't feel like, I mean, how much was that super chat? How much did he just pay for that super chat?
$50.
The price of HU2.
Man,
get in there.
That's a good fact.
Yeah.
Get in there, my friends. Unprecedented times where you can get in touch with millionaires, guys that make this kind of money. I wish I had that when I was their age.
Yeah,
I didn't have this.
Yeah, I'm
32, guys. I didn't have any of this stuff, this internet, being able to tune into a podcast live, ask 3 multimillionaires at the table right now, telling y'all in different facets. Tristan made his money in different ways. I made my money through real estate, as you guys know, content creation, working for the federal government, former agent. He did it through content creation, real estate as well. So, guys, you got to go ahead and you're going to get access to this times 20 in HU.
Absolutely.
Some of y'all go in a club, buy a bottle. Some of you go trick on a girl, and then you wonder, why am I still broke? We're giving you a platform where you can learn from millionaires how to make money for yourself and your family.
For less than
$50.
Yeah.
A lot less
Bro,
than
like, some of y'all will spend that money on girls that don't even like you. So, Tristan, man, we got a great overview of your life, your trials and tribulations. Where can the people find you, man?
I'm on Instagram still, Talisman Tate. Yeah, you got to type in the full name though, because I am shadow banned. So I'm on Instagram at Talisman Tate. I'm on Getter Talisman Tate as well, a much better platform. It's not only got my photos, it's also got my thoughts. It works like a Twitter and Instagram mix. I really like the Getter app. I am no longer on YouTube, but you'll see me on a bunch of podcasts like Fresh and Fit.
Rumble?
And I am on Rumble. Yes. Rumble.com/Tate Speech, Rumble.com/Tate Confidential. Those are my channels. And the Tate Confidential channel is more my lifestyle, how I live. My crappy camera work because I'm spending millions of dollars and showing you what the lifestyle that's possible when you make money. Tate Speech is a lot more knowledge, a lot more podcasts. The advice on, advice on how to get to the point where you can live like Tate Confidential. So that's me on Instagram. Got a few kickboxing pictures, me standing in front of a jet, me standing in front of my cars. I live very, very well. So you'll find me there.
I like the picture with the Dan. That was fire, bro.
Yeah.
And
that
the picture we were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
And Fresh, give a little quick for the people so that they can learn, because you talk about high value Instagrams all the time real quick. What is Tristan doing here that the people can go ahead and learn from?
So I want to say one thing about Tristan's Instagram page, right? Less is always more. If you notice, he has only 15 posts, but he does many things around the world. And it's funny because you can post less pictures, but the quality is what matters. And if you notice with his page here, it's all quality. He's dressed to the nine. He has the lifestyle with the cars, and he's showing his lifestyle in a classy, elegant way. Guys, this right here is priceless because this type of like lifestyle and this type of like pictures and videos showcase him in a good light. Some of you post yourself in a selfie pose in a bathroom. That's weak, bro. Girls gonna be like, "What's wrong with this dude? It's weird." This right here, guys, is a good example of what you should do. And of course, you may not have the car right now. You may not have the watches, but you can go to Zara, go to H&M, get a nice suit, get a nice shirt and pants, and mix and match. All we're saying, guys, is like, you want to have results with Instagram, you need to show a lifestyle that girls want to be around. It's what it is. And then
that's artwork done of me. You could scroll through those pages. A fan did
even
that.
his stories.
Yeah.
If you go to his stories right now, it's showcasing lifestyle and maybe projects he's working on right now. So for that, us in the club.
Yeah, look who it is.
There you go.
Fresh
There you go.
and fresh.
There you go. So
And that's us right there.
So guys, go follow Tristan. Get on Rumble as well to see behind the scenes with him and Andrew. And if you want a good example of an Instagram page, James Bond in the flesh right here.
So yeah, guys, get in there. And anything you want to tell the people, man, before
Last thoughts?
Yeah,
No,
last
nothing.
thoughts. Close it
We
out.
covered everything. I just want to say that hanging out with people is just like I was saying about Dan. I want to big up Fresh and Fit right now because I want to say, like, I've met them before. We had a few drinks before. I've been in their studio before, but now they're not in a hotel. They're staying here at my home.
Thank you for that.
And I see it literally. I wake up in the morning after a night of drinking, and you guys are in the gym, fucking working out and stuff. These guys are actually. The more I hang out with them, and now I'm getting to know them on a much better level, the more legit that I know that they are. So yeah, this is a great podcast to be watching, and you two are absolutely fantastic.
Thank you, my friend.
And guys, I've been wanting to do this for a very long time. I wanted to introduce you guys to Tristan for a while. Just that, like I said before, when he came in, he always had war room events, etc. But this is the real player here, guys. This is the dude that's out here, getting the late. Well, used to get the late.
Man of God.
Man of God. No. And then real quick, because they've been asking a million times for Andrew. What's the status of Andrew? How's he doing?
Where is Andrew?
Where is he?
Keep watching Fresh and Fit. 48 hours, you might hear something.
Sheesh.
Man, there you guys go. We'll leave you with that, guys.
And
Get into Hustlers University.
And we have also a special guest coming as well.
Oh yeah, we do. No, don't say it.
Okay, never mind.
Don't say it.
There you go.
Stay tuned.
Stay
Top
tuned,
secret.
guys.
Keep watching.
Love y'all.
See you on the next
like
show.
the video. Follow them on Talisman Tate. Check them out. Also, guys, on Rumble.